You're listening to the Boxing Coalition.
And it just broke the guy's heart. The guy had nothing left, and he knew he couldn't last another 4 or 5 rounds.
Ricky Wars just lost his soul.
What it is, let's get it.
Fuck that, this your business, nigga. You hear me?
Let's get it.
Go kick his motherfucker.
Get that motherfucker in.
Let's see you do this. Little step back, bang, bang, bang. Little step back, bang, bang.
Bang, 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 bang. Try and stop it. Bang, bang. Here I come. Bang. You want to throw sometime? Bang.
Body stop. Boom, 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 boom. Go to the body. Kill that body. You took his nuts, now you gotta take his heart.
Yeah, take his whole soul away.
Yeah, get out of here, Gail. I'll see you later. Find someone credible. Get out of here.
He was higher than a motherfucker. I'll tell you, he was stoned as fuck.
No, it's only a majority decision if there was an even score. There's no even score here. You're an official, right? You're an official of the state. Well, then you don't understand how to score.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable. The crowd here on Fuego.
He's ready to be whooped, man. He's ready to be whooped. He's ready to be whooped.
And now Acosta has stopped it. Wow. That is going to be controversial.
But you really liked to stand toe-to-toe with him in the 12th round, even if you thought you won the fight. It was on. Did you like that? I love you.
Hello, and welcome to the Boxing Coalition, a place to discuss anything boxing. We have a rotating panel of hosts that consist of Chemo, Mao Alpha, Cam, Daniel Lim, and MV Chu. If you want to have your say, call in on Skype. Just add Box Coalition and get involved in the show.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Boxing Coalition. My name is Cam. Joining me tonight, Daniel Lim, Kevin Horn, Ari Gold Boss, and Roos. Guys, we had a massive announcement this week. An announcement we've all been waiting for. We found out who killed Lucy Beale.
Who? Who killed her?
Who killed her, Ari? I don't watch EastEnders.
Her little brother.
Fucking hell, how can a little brother kill her, man? That's terrible. That's terrible. That's terrible. All the people that are not in the UK won't get that shit joke, so I apologise for that. But yeah,
Just
we
tell
found
them
out.
to Google Bobby from EastEnders.
Just don't let it happen again, alright, Cam?
Yo, shit jokes are my MO, to be honest, Kev, so I can't promise nothing.
I thought that was Roos's forte.
Nah, Roos's jokes are getting better these days, to be fair. But yeah, let's get... Obviously, I'm talking about the announcement of Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, May 2nd. It's finally happening. I'm salty about it, to be honest, because I said it wasn't going to happen. But I think we'll dip into that a bit later, because we had...
Eat some crow first, Cam.
No, I'll eat it later. But we had some decent fights on the weekend. The main one, most people know, Triple G, Gennady Golovkin versus Martin Murray in Monte Carlo, Monaco. Dan, I'll go to you first. What do you think of Triple G's demolishment of Mr. Murray?
Oh man, that's my ski mask impersonation. Oh man. It was a good fight. Yeah, I don't know, man. It was, like, he fucked him up. What else do you want me to say? He was toying around with him. You know, he was like playing with like a fucked up animal. It was like, it reminded me when I was a kid, when I was 5 or 6. I used to collect like spiders or insects and shit, and I would put the little glass over the insect through the sun and kill him. And that's what it seemed like.
Weirdo.
Yeah,
so that's my expert analysis on the fight.
Yeah, I'm salty because I did want Martin Murray to go 12 rounds. I was bragging to everyone before the fight. Last week, I kind of predicted that a late stoppage, but throughout the week, I just kept thinking about it, and I thought maybe he'll be able to spoil him a bit and frustrate Triple G and last the rounds, because we know Martin Murray's a tough guy. But
let me ask you a question, Cam. I mean, I know you're a strong supporter of your boy Martin Murray. Would you have wanted him to, fight those remaining 2 rounds and get his shit beaten out of him further, or would you have rather his corner stop the fight?
Yeah,
the 7th round should have stopped, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a good question, and honestly, live when the fight was happening, I wanted the fight to go on just because I wanted him to be the first guy to take Triple G 12 rounds. But in hindsight, he was getting the shit beat out of him, and why take all that punishment for no reason? So looking back at it, I think maybe Oliver Harrison should have stopped it. I don't think that, like, some of his motivation in the corner, Oliver Harrison, even though I rate him as a trainer, I don't know what direction he was trying to, he was just like, oh, just surviving there, you're doing all right, and do this. It's like, well, none of it's working. He's getting the shit beat out of him. Come on,
That trainer's big in the UK, Cam?
He's...
I don't remember really seeing him. I remember I was like, yo, these dudes are gangsters. They ain't letting this guy quit. And they should have stopped that after the 9th round. That beating he took in the 7th, 8th, and 9th round, like, he didn't need to take any more of that.
Oliver Harrison is kind of big in the northwest of England. He's had decent guys up here, but around London and that, he's not really that well known. Only to, like, maybe the hardcores really know him that much.
Because Murray's known for being, like, somewhat street and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's a tough bastard. He would have stayed the full 12, but you can't keep getting hit with clean shots like that. And Triple G even they said before the fight they want to go rounds. They said after the fight, we didn't throw hard punches till after the 6th round. They were basically toying with him. And then fucking 7, 8, and 9, he just pounded him. Like this at either the 7th or 8th round, he was basically battering him from pillar to post. And I was like, there's really no need for this. He's lost every round. He's proven to be hurt twice and knocked down 3 times. Like, just stop this. Like, what's the point?
Do most of you guys agree? Like, Ari, do you agree with what Kev's saying? Because I kind of saw a bit of frustration towards the end of that fight with Triple G. Like, he's thinking, shit, this guy's going to stop my knockout record. I need to get him out of here soon. I kind of saw that towards the end.
7, 8, 9. No, I don't think I thought get the towel in, because Murray was still, even though he was getting beat up, he was still having chances in there. He was still landing. Golovkin was taking chances. He was coming forward. He weren't really caring about what Murray was throwing at him, because Murray was landing combos on him at times, but it's just he didn't have.
Isn't that another reason to stop the fight, though, Ari? That you're landing clean shots and he's just walking through, shaking them off.
Yeah, the thing is,
but it only takes one.
They were tippy-tappy punches, though.
It doesn't take one with Murray. Murray didn't have that one.
I'm not gonna lie.
Ari, true or not true?
It's true, but
a lesser man with less heart than him would have quit the way Rubio and Gil quit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, he just stayed in because he had heart.
He took all the punches Rubio took. You saw Triple G was throwing that weird left hook that he's like. At times, it looked a bit illegal, man.
Yo, Ari,
I
want
on the top of his head.
I want to discuss that with you because
Max Kellerman brought it up.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, Kev. I saw the Channel 5 version of that.
Yeah, I didn't see the HBO.
And Steve Collins, the former boxer, he mentioned it because he was in the studio reviewing the fight, and he said, "Look, something needs to happen because those punches are to the top of the head and they're illegal punches. So, do you think like he needs to get bit of a telling off, or do you think something needs to be done about that?"
The thing is, though, he does such a great job in kind of like masquerading those punches, and I kind of, maybe I'm just, hype gobbling Triple G too much, but I feel like that's another skill set, along with the, all the other things he does, because the way Triple G just throws punches, there's just like a fluidity to him, and I just think he gets away with them because they all look so natural.
No, that's a good point.
I said the same thing too, Dan. And I've asked you guys before, just hitting the bag. Like, when you throw that left hook, should your thumb always be parallel to the ground or perpendicular? Does it matter? Like, he turns over his punches the same way every time, and he's got such accuracy. Like, he puts it exactly where he wants, and he turns it over the same no matter where he lands it. And it's just like, when you're doing that, it looks like you said, it looks so smooth because it looks like it is a heavy bag workout. He's just putting punches basically where, like a guy who puts those X's on the heavy bag, and he just hits each and every one of them every time. And that's what the fight was looking like.
And also, it's like Triple G again is one of those lone fighters who still shifts as a fighter, and again, it's because like all of his punches are, it's like, even if they're not at the right distance, like he makes it look like they're at the right distance because he can shorten up shots so fucking easily. It's pretty amazing to watch, like going back to, Kevin about the heavy bag and stuff, for everyone who's hitting a heavy bag, like you get frustrated a lot of times because you're just not at the right distance. But Triple G just makes up for it because he touches a lot of his punches and then he follows it up with 2-3 punches upstairs or downstairs. He's a pretty incredible combination puncher.
Okay, guys, let me get to
Gennady Golovkin.
Chew. Chew, are you there? All right,
just listening, dog.
Just listening. I'll get to Chew in a while. Let me get to Roos. Roos, what did you think of Triple G?
Yeah, he did what he had to do. I think I wasn't impressed as much because obviously, like from day one, we just knew he wasn't gonna be competitive, and it was just people just betting on how many rounds is Murray gonna stay in there, and all credit to him. I don't think the towel should have been thrown early because the way I look at it is, if you really hurt him, Murray would have stayed down and just not get up. He was getting beat up, but he wants to go out on the shield, and I don't think he was in too much danger, even though he was getting touched. He seemed to have his whereabouts still with him. So
I don't think Oliver Harrison should have threw the towel in. I think he should have threw the do-rag in.
Yeah, no, but credit to Murray though. Credit to Murray. I mean, I had him like he won't go past 3 rounds. So for him to make it, to where he was, like, props to him, man.
I almost got it, man. I almost had my UD, man. Almost had it. But let me get.
So, Kev, you would have rather gotten your full points rather than saving someone's life.
that makes me sound like a dick, Dan. Come on.
No, I was just gonna ask you: does Martin Murray have a father? Because I wanted to hear the Billy Biscoe part 2, except having Murray finish it.
Your son's gonna die in there.
Your son's dying. Oi, your son's dying.
But I think somebody made a good point on The Voice, and it's one of the TMT twins that I usually never agree with, and we were talking a little bit on Twitter that he landed those body shots that dropped him twice, and then he made a conscious effort not to really throw those body shots for another 2 rounds, just to go rounds, and then after the fight he goes, "Oh, I gave you first 6 rounds as like a drama show, like that knockdown came as an accident, like." It just happened to land in the right spot, but he wasn't trying to put him down. And then maybe if he was getting frustrated, it was because, that 7th, 8th, and 9th round, he was battering him and I think he thought that was going to be enough to get rid of him after basically carrying him 6 rounds, and it wasn't, because he's a tough guy, man. Murray's a tough guy. If Murray had power, he'd be a real problem for a lot of people.
I personally don't think he was carrying him. I think obviously the first 2-3 rounds, Murray was spoiling, a lot of holding, a lot of just trying to frustrate Triple G. I think Triple G stepped it up in the 4th round. I don't think he carried him towards 6-7 rounds.
No, but we can't keep saying this, because when Floyd fought Maidana and he said he was toying with him, people didn't believe that. But with this, we seem to believe like what he says.
Yeah, but the thing is, Triple G and Abel Sanchez said it before the fight in multiple interviews, and then after the fight as well. So it's like, if they say it before, they say it after. And then if you start watching, look at the 7th round, 8th round, and 9th round. He was battering him, sending him across. You could tell he just started putting that little extra mustard on the shots after that.
Just
you know what I mean?
I thought Murray was, in the 1st round even, I thought Murray looked hurt, and he looked like he felt the power and started, he started spoiling for like the next 2 rounds after that. It was quite shocking to me how literally a minute into it, or a minute and a half into the fight, he did look shook up, man. That power's, the power's legit. Everyone knows it now. It's just, I don't know, man. Out of that division, I don't see anyone, no one could take his power, so no one's going to beat him, in my opinion. He's got a chin behind it, even if you do land. Unless it's going to be a Andy Lee Kamehameha or something. I just don't know what you're going to do, to be honest. Like, if he gets him out of nowhere like Korobov, I just don't see it at that weight class.
I don't want to sound salty, but that ring size pissed me off because I think it should have been slightly bigger. Obviously,
that place is so small though. They might not have room for a bigger. They
true,
only had
but
900
like
people.
every time Murray stepped away from one rope, he was his back against another rope. I think.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm saying. And watch the 7th, 8th round. He was getting bounced from one side to the other. It was crazy.
Having said that, though, Murray did back him up a few times, and he was doing decent body work. But like you said, he has no power, so they're not really having any effect.
I didn't see him back him up, but I wasn't really paying too much attention sometimes. So.
You were just tweeting girls and shit, man. That's what you were doing while the fight was going on.
Yo, but for real though, now that you mentioned that, like, after watching this type of fight, like, if there's another one next, like, it's tough for me to convince my girl to watch the fight with me. Like, if she says, let's watch a movie instead, like, I might have to say, all right, because I'll watch the fight on replay because I already know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? And I hate to hate like that because you guys know I'm as big a Triple G fan as anybody, and I probably overhype him more because I think he could beat Ward, and I think he is a top 3 pound for pound guy just off of his abilities. And you know that I basically overhype, sparring stories more than everybody else ever, probably in the history of hearing sparring stories. So I'm just real hyped on him. I love him. I'm a huge fan of him, but if I know what's going to happen, I could watch the fight on replay rather than trying to convince my girl to stay up on a Saturday night to watch a fight,
Yeah. All right. Let me get back to MB Chew, see if he sorted his mic issues. Chew!
It's all right, Cam. Just it's cool. Just let me in my cage. I'm all right. I'm all right here. I'm exactly where I need to be.
You sure?
I disagree.
Nah, great fight. It was interesting seeing Dan and Kev compare Mark Murray to a punching bag, which in fairness, he probably was. Just a very brave one. He's got nothing for Golovkin. And it was interesting that the first couple of rounds, Martin Murray could hold him. And after that, he couldn't. It was almost as if Golovkin was letting him hold him. And that was like one thing he could just take away piece by piece. To the extent where Martin Murray was probably like, man, fucking hell, I can't even hold the guy anymore. And just a fucking masterclass. Everything. Like uppercuts, body shots, hooks, fucking right hands. Even like as the rounds went on, he was doing like kind of little head movements. And I think Martin Murray beats every other middleweight, but Golovkin, he's just on a class of his own, and who can really beat him? Just some guy in middleweight who could punch. Andy Lee, Peter Quillen. That's pretty much it. David Lemieux? Nah.
I think the only guy that can beat him is a fighter with a great punch, an incredible footwork, and an impeccable chin and elite stamina.
Yeah.
I'm fucking around
which is a mirror match, Triple G.
He's pretty much God. There's no fighter with all.
I thought Dan was going to say Canelo.
No.
Cyborg.
No.
Come on, man. I think Triple G was going to be like a little intimidated by Canelo's, attractiveness, but then he's probably going to knock him out in 6. So, I hate to say it, but Triple G is too much for anyone in that weight class.
But did you guys also notice, like, when Triple G was in the inside and, he would go to throw a hook and Murray would kind of beat him to the punch. And Murray, we don't know, it doesn't punch that hard, but, just that little tap, it will kind of force GGG to reset. And is that bad footwork, or like, what do you guys put that to? Because I saw that a few times. And
I just don't think Triple G cares about the offense of his opponent. I think he's more bothered about his own offense, and he's not bothered about defense because he knows that these guys can't hurt him.
The guy spars heavyweights and cruiserweights. Like, until he gets hit and looks like he's hurt, I don't think he's going to care. Like, he's like Terry Norris with a chin. Like, he throws every punch in the book, except he could take a punch. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, we know Curtis Stevens has got great power. And, he hit him with 2 left hooks and did nothing.
You would think the top 3 powerful puncher in middleweights are Triple G, maybe Quillen, and Stevens. And the thing is, Stevens is just levels below those fighters, but he has the power to put people out cold. And Triple G ate those punches.
Yeah. All right. Let me get to Leon. Leon.
You're right.
How are you,
doing?
man? Let's get your opinion on the Triple G fight.
Yeah, it was great to see him fight, but it was just a no contest, wasn't it? He just beat the shit out of him.
Yep.
I'm coming around to Kev's way of thinking. What's the point in him being in that division anymore? Like, because he's gonna knock everyone out in that division. So he's gonna have to move up.
I'm on the fence. Like, I won't mind him if he fights 2 or 3 times more this year. Do it at middleweight and then step up next year.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think if we can, you know, will Cotto fight him? Probably not, but they can make that fight for June. But Quillen won't fight him, so who does he fight? So he can fight Lemieux and Andy Lee, and that's it. But I mean,
and I think Andy Lee would fight him. Obviously, he signed to fight him last year.
But past that, he's going to have to move up. I'm not saying he goes and fights Ward straight away.
The problem is, though, if Andy Lee loses to Quillen, that takes away the Triple G fight.
Yeah, exactly.
But and then then Quillen's locked up with Billy Joe Saunders next after that. So
then he wouldn't fight him anyway.
You know,
let's have it right. He wouldn't fight him, would he?
But I'm just saying, just to bring the theoretics out of it, to make it theoretically, it's eliminated.
So Lemieux's the only fight for him in the summer, then.
Yeah,
on the table.
Well, even if he fought like a top 10, like super middleweight, that's a sturdy guy that you know he's going to beat as like a way to get acclimated to the weight and get ready for a Ward fight. Because HBO ain't giving Ward 2 or 3 warm-up fights. They're giving him one, and then they're going to try to force the Triple G fight.
Yeah.
Why don't HBO force him up so you can fight Kovalev? That's what I don't understand.
Honestly, and I can tell you this firsthand, that they want the Triple G Ward fight because they think Triple G could be a bigger star, whereas Kovalev, like I don't know what their plans are with him. But I know I've heard that.
Yo, Kevin Leon, can I jump in and ask you two a question?
Yeah.
With Triple G jumping to super middleweight, that doesn't guarantee any good fights, you know? The elite guys might duck him, and he end up might fighting Edwin Rodriguez and, you know, other lower tier super middleweight. So I was, you know, like my boy Kimo, I was speaking to him today, and he makes a great point about going back up and down weight classes. It's not good for the body. It's not good to do that to yourself. And I think when he does go up,
he's got to stay there.
But that's not. I don't think that's the case though, Cam. Because I think at 168, like he could just make that natural without a cut. You know what I'm saying? And he could go in there and not bulk up to fight at 168. And then, you know, still have his same weight cut to go back down to because he walks around at like 170, 172. So why couldn't he just, you know, basically do what Pacquiao and Floyd do and fight at their, you know, natural weight and only have to cut 3 or 4 pounds? And like you said, there might not be a fight at 168. And if people duck him, then you can't do it. My whole view is just leave all options open. Try to pursue everything and see what comes next. Like he already tried pursuing Chavez at 168, 170, but Chavez ducked him. You know what I mean? Like you said, there's no guarantee he can get the fight. My argument is against people's theory that he shouldn't even consider moving up until he unifies, which could take a year and a half. And it's by that time he's 35, like 34.
I do think there is some merit in unifying, because after we're all gone, you know, that does mean something. When you look back over history, it does mean something. You know, in 40 years, if you were to be considered a legend, you need those things. Like we have it over here, where we have a footballer called Steven Gerrard, and whatever happens, he failed to win the Premier League with his club, and that will always be held against him. And who's that guy who played quarterback? Is it Moon, the black guy?
Dan Marino. You're talking about Dan Marino.
Moon.
Warren Moon, yeah. What does everyone always say about him? He never won the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, which is the same thing they say about Marino.
never won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, so those markers are important for history. So I think we should let him have the chance to unify. But if it's not going to happen this year or within the next year, and everyone's ducking him, he's going to have to move on.
And this is why I don't like Al Heyman.
Yo, no. MV2, have you made a bet with someone that you have to mention Al Heyman like 10 times a day on a podcast?
Only a bet to God and my late grandpa. And Al Heyman, when have you ever seen an Al Heyman fighter fight Golovkin?
Exactly. Chavez went to Heyman to avoid Golovkin. Like, he could have signed a 2-fight deal fighting Golovkin and been guaranteed $12 million for 2 fights. Instead, he went to Heyman and he's fighting from 4 for $2 million.
Okay,
Kev. I mean, I'm sure he's paying his training expenses and his rent and everything, but the numbers still don't add up.
Cam, I do think fighting Endam could be quite good for Golovkin as just because he hasn't fought many boxers like with that style, so I think that could be a useful fight for him, just for a kind of tryout of a style. So if he gets that IBF belt, maybe he can go after him.
Yo, listen, Kev, can I ask you another question?
Yeah, cool.
So let's just say Triple G jumps up to super middle, has a tune-up, gives Ward time to have a tune-up. He fights Ward, he beats him. Chavez starts talking shit. For some reason, the fight happens. Heyman and HBO work together. He beats the shit out of Chavez. What does he do then?
Then he solidifies himself as an all-time great, the way that Hopkins did when he jumped up and beat Tarver. I mean, what's left for him to do then? At that time, he's going to be, 34, 35? So then, who knows? Maybe Beterbiev or one of these one of these light heavyweights emerges and he goes up another weight class. Or maybe somebody emerges, from the, to think 2 years in ahead it's kind of tough. You know what I mean? But, if he did that, isn't that more impressive than sitting here and beating Endam and Lemieux? Like, what you just said is, say he moves up and beats a guy like, say, Arthur Abraham's, quality. You know what I mean? Because we all know Triple G's huge in Germany. Maybe he beats one of those Germans in Germany, and then he fights Ward, and then he fights Chavez. He just solidified himself as a pound-for-pound #1 fighter in the world and the best fighter around. What's left for him to do?
No, you make a great point, but I kind of agree with what Leon was saying earlier, because we all secretly say to ourselves that the belts don't mean shit, but we all kind of know that they do. And if you unify or if you become undisputed at your weight class, it is something that goes down in history.
But a belt means something, but not when Jermaine Taylor just had the belt before going to jail 6 months ago, 3 months ago.
Yeah, but that's
what
one
I mean?
belt. But all the belts mean something different. One belt is one thing, but if you get all the belts, that's a hell of a different thing, I think, personally.
I hear you, but now say Cotto ducks him, which is very likely.
Well, then he drops the belts, doesn't he? He has to fight him.
All right, he ducks him and he drops the belt, and then he fights a guy like Lemieux for a vacant belt. What value does that belt have? He just won a vacant belt off a guy who 1.5 years, 2 years ago got dominated by Rubio and Alcine. You just knocked out Rubio in 2 rounds. You know what I mean? Everything holds their weight differently. Hopkins, I keep going back to him because, he's the last guy when everybody's like, well, Hopkins did it. Hopkins was getting destroyed for years, being told to move up because no one gave a shit about him beating Robert Allen and Carl Daniels and William Joppy. After Tito, it was time for him to move up. And he unified in dramatic fashion, beating Tito.
But he hasn't got a Tito. Triple G hasn't.
He does if Cotto doesn't duck him.
Yeah. So we're
exactly, and I'm perfectly cool.
Cotto.
If he could fight Cotto or Canelo, then that's cool.
I don't think the Canelo fight is just another. He's just fighting anyone else. I think Cotto's the one. That's the name.
Yeah. Well, that's why I wanted Cotto and Canelo to fight, because I thought if Canelo beat Cotto, he would actually step up and fight Triple G, whereas I don't think Cotto will do it for any amount of money.
You don't think he'll do it? There's no chance of him doing it.
Agree.
Yeah. So
but we all know Triple G is the mandatory for Cotto right now, right?
Yeah. So if so maybe they drop the belt so he can get some more of a belt and then move up. So he could be moving up for the new year for next year, and still have got all the belts, which is I'm happy with that.
All right, guys, let me get to the phone.
Long live the king of all kings, and we say, long live the king! Long live the king!
What up? What's Gucci, fellas?
What's Gucci, King G?
Where's Lim?
He's on the line.
Yo, Lim, what up? You dropped off or what? He's probably taking care of the supermarket. What's good, though? What's good, man? What about my boy Triple G coming through with that ass whooping?
What did you think of it, King G?
Oh, man, I loved it, man. I loved every second of it. Drama show.
Do you think the fight should have been stopped earlier?
Oh, fuck yeah, man. You know what? It's one of those things, man, where it doesn't matter how much fucking heart Murray has, and you gotta show respect because he did a good job and he hung in there, man. But I mean, dude, it comes to a point where, like, dude, there's no more point in you staying in there so many fucking rounds. You're not gonna fucking win. You don't have the power to stop him with one chance, like let's say a Lemieux does. Like, why are his trainers letting him take that fucking beating? I thought after 6 I would have stopped it. After the 6th round, I would have fucking stopped it, dude. And then the advice that his corner was giving him, did you see it? The fucking, at the end of the 9th round, oh, hang in there. You almost got him, champion. You almost got what? What the fuck does he almost got? He's close to getting knocked the fuck out. He doesn't have anything. Jesus Christ, fucking Stevens was fucking giving him some fucked up advice, man. Oh, man, I couldn't believe they were telling him that, honestly, man. Dude, I know you want the guy to win, dude, but if you're his fucking coach and you're in the corner, man, for his own good, man, because Murray's not a fucking bad boxer, man. Before this fight, I didn't think he was all that, man, but after this fight, man, honestly, I got a whole different point of view in him, man. I mean, he just lacks power, man, but his boxing skill is not that bad. In some of the rounds, he caught Triple G with 4-punch combinations. You know what I mean? But, dude, as his corner, I would have been like, yo, man, listen, I know you don't want me to stop the fight, but I have to. There's no point in you staying in there no more. He was just taking beatings, man. I mean, in one of the rounds, I think it was like the 7th round, like he did this thing to Triple G where he kind of laughed and he told him, like, yeah, like, you're not hurting me. And, dude, after that, like, Triple G fucking hammered him, like, 5 punches. And he literally, he ate, like, 3 punches that he fucking threw at him. And he smiled. Did you see him? When he's like, he shook his head like there's nothing there. And I was like, fuck. Like, imagine yourself, you're in the ring with someone and you're throwing the best you can and he's fucking eating them shit like they're cookies and he throws 4 at you real bad. I would have been like, fuck this. Give me the towel. I'll throw that shit in there. It was over, man. But Murray got the fucking heart of a lion, man. Yeah. He got the heart of a lion, man. But I don't know, man. And I don't think, I kind of agree and I don't agree with Kev, man. He's fucking confusing me a little bit.
In what sense?
As far as, did Triple G carry the fight or not?
I don't think he did.
I think he not carried it. I think he tested him in the first 3 rounds. The first 3 rounds, I think he took him lightly. And even though taking him lightly, how crazy is the fucking power, man? That he took him lightly. And in those 3 rounds, right away, you could tell he hurt him. And Murray was like, holy shit, the power's real.
I'm just saying, he said before the fight that he wanted to go rounds and he was going to, basically pace himself the first half of the fight and then start throwing hard punches. And after the fight, he said the same thing. I wanted a drama show. I gave you guys drama show by letting it go 6 rounds. So he wasn't throwing with full power. That's what I mean by carrying him.
Okay, then that I can believe. I thought by carrying, I thought you mean like he was giving him a chance, like, I just don't feel like finishing him. Because I don't think that was the case. Because
he wanted to go rounds. He just ended his last 2 fights in a combined 4 rounds.
But I'll tell you what, in the 2nd and 3rd round, Kev, if Murray doesn't hold on for fucking dear life, he would have ended his ass right there.
Yeah.
he would have ended him. He would have ended him. I don't care if he's trying to go rounds or not.
But how often do you see like a right hook to the body end the fight? Like, you know what I mean? That I don't think that was by design. I think it just happened. It happened
that's what
organically.
I'm saying. Yeah.
It hit a perfect place. And watch the fourth round. Did he go to the body after that? The third round? You know?
It's just that's another crazy thing, man. Like, how hard does this guy really hit, man? Like, I don't want to say I want to feel it because I'm straight, you know. But I mean, for him to actually just throw and land on you, and he's not really trying to hit you that hard, and it hurt. Like, dude, it's got to be fucking scary, man.
Well, Murray said that the body shot that put him down, you know, the one that was delayed one. He said it like just skimmed him. It didn't like fully. He didn't feel like it fully connected. So you know, that's scary, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what. Imagine if he would have landed a real good one.
Yeah, it would have been sick instantly, I think.
And as far as like his offense, man, dude, how crazy is it that he was in there and he was like, let's just say that what Kevin is saying is true, you know, and he stepped up after the 6th and 7th round. Like, he was like, okay, this guy's not putting his fucking guard down. Body punch, jab, and then that fucking Maidana hook on him. Like, he was making him open up whether he wanted to or not. It was not. I don't know, man. I liked it, man. I liked it. It just showed another. I guess it showed another side of Golovkin that we had never seen because he went that many rounds. And the thing that I liked a lot, man, was that he what's the word I'm looking for? He didn't lose his thought of concentration. Like, he stayed calm. That's crazy, man. To stay calm under that.
And he didn't lose any energy, right? He was just a machine. Like it literally was like somebody doing pad work or bag work, just so smooth and effort. Like, it was like a runner, like guys who could run marathons. Like, every stride is the same from mile 1 to mile 15 to mile. It's crazy, man.
Exactly. Like, you know, like, it's some other fighters, like, when they would have seen that they land a good shot, you see them, they run up to the guy and they start throwing all kind of wild shit. And no, this guy, like, his power is so real and he's so good at it that it doesn't matter. Like, I hurt you. Okay, I wasn't able to get you out. I'm going to get you eventually.
Yeah.
I'm going to get to you.
He still remains methodical.
Like, yeah, man, that's nuts, man. That's nuts. And, you know, right, real fast, man, this whole Peter Quillen and this Chavez Jr. shit, like, those guys are fucking pussies. They're fucking dick eaters, you know, they're cowards. When they had the chance to fight him, they didn't fucking fight him. They ran away from him. And now that they know that they're in a secure place where they know it's not going to happen and it can't happen, they talk all this shit. Like, get the fuck out of here. I have no respect for someone like that. They're fucking cowards, you know. Cotto, if he fucking ducks him, like, that's expected from him, you know, and he has the option to go either side. But Quillen and Chavez Jr., he was offered his highest fucking payday. He didn't fucking make the fight. He sees the display that he puts on him and, I'll bet $1 million because he knows it can't fucking happen. Like, come on, man, stop the bullshit. You know what I mean? He's fucking ridiculous. And then the statement that he made, like, without power, he's nothing. Like, dude, how can you say that when we all know if Chavez Jr. didn't have that power that he does, the little power that he really would be nothing.
No, it's like saying Floyd wouldn't be the fighter that he is without his defense.
Yeah, Floyd wouldn't be a fighter he is without the reflexes he has. Like, who cares? He has them.
like Chavez.
I think the Chavez Triple G fight would be a fun fight because I really think Chavez has that Andre the Giant type of head where he's such a big ass head that he has like a genetic chin that I think it would be a fun fight.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then the other thing, it's like he acts like no one's seen the fucking sparring footage of where he got his ass fucking whooped. Like, come on, man. And if anything, ever since that sparring footage, who the fuck has gotten way better? You know what I mean? Him or Chavez? It's obvious. You put Vera in front of Triple G, he'll murder him.
Yeah. Jay, sorry, go on, you.
I think Junior's kind of upset because everyone's comparing him, Triple G, to his dad. So he's probably like, oh fuck, I'm his son.
Yo, there was a picture I saw a long time ago. I can't find it again, but I seen it on Twitter of Triple G and Chavez Senior, like arms over each other, and like Chavez Senior looked so happy, like he's looking at Triple G, thinking like, "I wish you were my son, man. I've got 2 disgraces as sons, but I wish you were my son."
you know, he would sign those adoption papers tomorrow.
Seriously,
just kick him out and just go, "Yeah, I'll have you."
Exactly.
He would have him in a second.
There's so many people ducking Triple G that pretty soon you're going to be a Hall of Fame fighter for just fighting him. Never mind if you win or lose. Like if Cotto fights Triple G, win or lose, that'll be his best match.
Oh, he'll get crazy respect if he takes it, wouldn't he?
Yeah, if Canelo fights Triple G, win or lose, that'll be the best name on his
It's tough
resume.
to say that because they fought Floyd, and right now, if Floyd beats Pacquiao, he's going down as the best fighter of the era. So they already fought Floyd. I mean, they don't need necessarily Triple G for their legacy, but it would be a icing on the cake. I mean.
No, but even then I disagree, because say if you got your ass knocked out by a Triple G in 4 rounds, how is that a legacy fight?
Yeah, I hear you.
But
so I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Well, how can people say that Triple G is pound for pound when he's not fought anyone? Now, I love Triple G. Don't get me wrong. I'm a fucking massive fan. I used to say that Triple G is top 3 pound for pound, and in terms of talent, he is. But the list of people who aren't fighting him is bigger than the names he's actually fought. So people are putting him there because of the people who's ducking him.
Right.
And that'll be, he's too old now. People in the chat are saying negative NBC. No, man, it's the truth. His career is going to be a list of people who have ducked him rather than the people he's fought.
If I was him, I'll take that. I'd be okay with that.
Because what can he do about that, though?
There's nothing he can do. That's what I'm saying. Pretty soon, the guys who fight him will get, 100 times more respect than fucking the people who don't. Like Cotto. Cotto's career is going to be a big asterisk if he doesn't fight Golovkin. I don't care if he's 5'6".
The thing is, at that point, doesn't Triple G just have to make outlandish fights just because he can't get anywhere near his weight division? I mean, can't you see him fighting, Kovalev or Stevenson at 175 just because there's too many pussies at 160 and 168?
I mean, let's be real, man. If he moves up to 168, and if he doesn't get Ward, I could give a fuck less about anyone else in that division. I don't really give a fuck about anyone else in that division.
What about the Gill?
Nah, fuck no.
The Gale's still got to prove himself, hasn't he? He's still got.
Yeah, I wouldn't. If it's not, it's like everybody wants him to move to 168, and let's say he does, right? And if he beats Ward, where does he go from there? 175 to Kovalev? I mean,
he goes, like I said before, he goes to cementing his legacy as being a great fighter, a historic fighter.
Dude, if I was in Triple G's place, I'm fighting whoever's holding that belt that Cotto has. I could give a fuck less if he ducks me. I'm coming after who.
So you
has
find
next.
it more impressive that he beats Ndam instead of beating Andre Ward? Like that's what you want for your legacy?
No. This is what I'm saying. I'm fighting whoever has that belt because look, this is the way you gotta look at it, Kev. This is the way you gotta look at it, Kev. Okay, he's not that young, man. So to him, right now, dude, he comes from Kazakhstan. He's probably made a decent amount of money, man. I guarantee you that he wants that belt more than fucking anything else. He doesn't really care about the big payday. He just wants to get the belts, man. If he gets the belts, fight Ward. At the end of your career, fight Ward, and if he beats you or you beat him, who gives a fuck? You unified as a champion. And you lost to one of the guys that was a pound-for-pound list if he loses to Ward.
So I'm assuming by the belt you're referring to Cotto's belts, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how long is he going to linger on that division, though, and just waiting for him to fucking fight him?
Well, no, he has to drop. It's only going to be another 3 to 6 months, Dan, because if he doesn't fight him, he's got to drop them. So
yeah, that's what
that long to wait.
Cotto's going to get pressured. He has to make a move. Either he fights him or he drops the belts.
Yeah. So then he's going to win a vacated belt versus a guy that is going to be a 40-1 underdog.
I'll take that because you know why I'll take that because you know why I'm going to take that.
But what does that fight do for his legacy?
When people look that up, they're going to look at Cotto dog.
Like, I don't know.
It's going to look up history, man. History.
I agree with
history, unfortunately.
I mean, Kev, I agree with King J from that standpoint. I think it would obviously be a lot smarter for him just to wait it out. And even if he is fighting a bum in 3 to 6 months, at least he'll have the prize of having 3 belts on his waist, right?
And
You know
let's
what I
be
mean?
honest, he's not going to fight Ward in the next 6 months anyway, because Ward wants 1 million tune-up fights. So it's not going to happen straight away anyway.
I mean, and then you got to think about it, because the question is going to be asked, like, how did he become the lineal champion? Oh, because Cotto ducked him, so he had to fight some other guy. Like, it's not going to be like he got him because they were just randomly there. No, he
So
got
now,
him because Cotto ducked him.
Quillen beats Andy Lee, which he will probably be the favorite to, he's never going to unify anyway. So
Yeah, but you get the lineal line from, and
he's already the lineal. Everybody knows he's the best.
Let him have the belts. Why he needs?
I mean,
needs
everybody,
the belt for
like,
history.
you could say Adonis Stevenson's the lineal, but who is looked at as the real champion? Kovalev.
Yeah, but in history, we're hardcores, right? So we're living in this moment. It's bigger than that. You know what I mean? It's bigger than right now, I think.
That's a fair point.
You know what would be great if Sergio Martinez came back with a fully healed knee and he started just clearing house.
You know what,
he just went on a comeback.
You know what, Chew? I was fucking thinking exactly the same thing.
Because that was his natural opponent, and then injury got the best of him, and that midget. No disrespect to Miguel Cotto, but that 5'6" middleweight, and Bob Arum's 3 opponents that he had mentioned for Miguel Cotto. I think it came in boxing scene today. It was like Cornelius Bundridge, Timothy Brandley, and Brandon Rios.
Oh, Cornelius Bundridge. That fucking name gives me chills, man. God damn.
Cornelius Bundridge, Tim Bradley, and Brandon Rios. 2 of them are welterweights. Bundridge is is his namesake. He's a bum. So Cotto's losing.
I think he should fight Bradley and just drop the strap and fight him at 154. Because
I'd rather that.
Move up to 154.
I'd rather that. He needs to. He ain't never gonna fight a true middleweight. So, in my opinion, Cotto just needs to drop that belt, go back down to 154, do your thing. Because he's just wasting time, really.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think he's a better middleweight than he is a super welterweight. I think he has a better chance of beating middleweights than he does of beating the best, 154 pounders.
And you know what? The thing is, he fucked himself over, man. Trying to get that Floyd fight. Because I guarantee you, now that he knows the fucking outcome, he's like, fuck, I should have took that Canelo offer.
Do you still not think that they might be able to get step aside money and get Canelo to fight in June? No.
Yeah, because there's a good chance Kirkland, 2 weeks from now, is still $190, and they he can't make weight.
But I mean, there's no way they're gonna be able to make it for that date. Or you guys are talking about later on in June?
Yeah.
June. Oh yeah, well then there's a chance in that, but I don't know. Cotto fucked everything up, man. Well,
Bundridge, that's gonna be the biggest fucking bullshit ever, man. He fucking churned a Canelo fight to fight K9 Bundridge.
And imagine K9 whoops his ass. How fucking bad is he gonna look? And then we gotta fucking watch K9 versus fucking Triple G. God damn.
Probably get the K9 versus Molina rematch.
Shit. Classic.
I can't believe we're not getting Canelo Cotto, because honestly, I know Mayweather Pacquiao, whoop-de-fucking do, it's a big deal, but I would rather see Canelo versus Cotto.
I was on the exact same train.
Huh?
When would it be? Would it be in June? And then Cotto has to suffer the indignity of getting trained part-time while Freddie Roach is training Manny for Floyd. I don't think Cotto's ego could handle that. Fucking boxing in the shadows while Manny gets all the fucking cameras flashing on him. I think he'll wait later on in the year, and then maybe he'll maybe get a fight with Canelo then. But in the meantime, he's got to take a fight.
When is when is Puerto Rican Day Parade? What date?
June.
No, but what date?
No, I don't know.
I have no idea.
Because obviously May 2nd...
the first weekend in June sometimes. They move it, though.
Yeah, if May 2nd till the beginning of June, it's still 4 weeks of training he can do with Roach. And the rest he can do with the...
Not Cotto, man. Not with those fucking demands. Fuck no, he won't take that fight. Not like that.
That's true.
He'll probably... You know what? Probably the end of August. Because he's not going to get in September, because that's Floyd's date again.
Yeah. That would be a good sparring partner for Manny, for Floyd. Cotto.
Unless Cotto wants that ass whooping from Amir Khan right quick, you know what I'm saying?
Team
Tell me
Con.
fit one in.
All right, guys. Shall we wrap up the Triple G talk and get to another fight? We've baked 50 minutes on this. Anyone any got final thoughts about Triple G?
Yeah, Triple G puts pressure inside the ring and outside the ring. He makes the guys knocking him wear pink underwear. Chavez and Cotto. If Canelo starts wearing pink underwear...
Oh, he already does, bro.
Okay, let's move on.
You know why? You know why?
Okay, guys, in Germany, Saturday, we had Paul Smith, Arthur Abraham, part 2. It was actually a decent fight. More...
Liar.
No, I thought it was okay. It was a lot more one-sided than the first fight. I think Arthur Abraham came in a lot more conditioned. His game plan was a bit more. He was a bit more active, and he hurt Paul Smith on numerous occasions. And I think that's why Smith was so negative to engage. I think because he got hurt and he didn't want to get knocked out, so he wasn't really throwing as much as he did in the first fight. Chu, what did you think of the fight?
Yeah, for whatever reason, I just knew that after Abraham was on it, he came to the ring with like a kind of bow tie tuxedo thing, and
he was
he looked a
swagging.
bit, yeah, he looked swag, man. He did, and like from the first bell, he usually fights in bursts, but he was fighting a bit more explosively, a bit more. His output was a bit more, and I've got to give Paul Smith credit. Whenever he was like trapped against the ropes, he fought off. He had like little rallies and shit, but it was never enough. And Paul Smith has got a good left hook to the body. And whenever he kind of threw that, it was kind of freezing Afro Abraham a bit, but Afro Abraham at the end of the day has just got a great jab. He's got a kind of high guard. He's kind of like Martin Murray in a way, I think, just with power. Just with his kind of high guard and good defence and good jab. But Martin Murray's probably doesn't like have as much power as him, and I would say Martin Murray throws a lot more punches. But after Abraham, I think he's talking about fighting Felix Sturm next. That's a bum fight. That's a bum fight. Why would anyone want to watch that?
It's a big fight in Germany, though. It's a big German fight.
Nah, fuck that fight. That's why these guys after Abraham got found out in the Super 6. Don't get me wrong, he's still a pretty good fucking fighter, but are you gonna be just content making money? You know what I mean? What are you in boxing for? If it's to make money, then fine.
Yeah.
Fight in Germany, but at the end of the day, you want to push yourself, or you want to hold the belt hostage. You've got two choices: push yourself or hold the belt hostage.
But what if you know you've reached a certain level and that's the only level you're going to get, and a ton of money's in Germany, and if people don't want to come there, then that's on them.
But it's not about people want to come there. It's that the Silence don't offer to any legit guys. Come on, man. Paul Smith. I don't want to shit on him, but come on, this guy got knocked out by the girl on Groves. You know, they had fun with him in the ring. That's why the first fight was so shocking to us, that Paul Smith nearly beat him. You know, some people even thought he did beat him, where it just showed how limited Abraham is and how protected he is, that basically that WBO middleweight belt should just be called the German champ, because that's what it is. They trade it in between each other. They share it. Him and Stieglitz share it. Now Sturm's joining the party.
Pass the parcel.
Sturm, they just pass the parcel. Sturm was only going to beat him. They'll have a trilogy. That's how it is. Unless you're mandatory, and even mandatories don't really get called against Abraham, you're not gonna get that belt. So that WBO belt's staying in Germany. You know, they know Groves. Even this version of Groves, I think, beats him. You know, Abraham.
I actually disagree there. Good points, but I disagree with that. I think Abraham beats Groves.
I don't know. Maybe on the chin, but Abraham looks like he ain't got power. Again, Paul Smith is someone who's been known for not having a good chin, and he did get hurt a few times in this fight. He still stood in there. He never got knocked down. It's just Abraham just ain't got the power at this level, I think. But the fight itself, if you don't mind, I'll break it down. Yeah, it was definitely entertaining. You know, it was most entertaining fight of the night for me, more than the Triple G fight. You know, it was more competitive, and you know, I don't really like Smith, but he done his thing. You know, he left it all in the ring. He was getting outclassed at times, but he didn't give up. He kept trying to get off the ropes. It was on the rope taking combos. He's like defending himself as much as he can. Then he's coming back with his own little things, and it's just nothing he could do could deter Abraham. He did hurt him at one point to the body, and he's like he let him off the hook. Don't know why, but he let him off the hook. Like maybe he was wary of jumping inside and getting caught himself. But he let that moment go, and that was after that. It was all Abraham. Abraham just dominated the middle rounds. Then Abraham, as if he knew he had it in the bag, he just gave Smith the last two, and that was it really. I think I had it 8-4 for Abraham.
Yeah, I think I had 117, 111. So yeah, it's still a decent fight, even though it was one-sided. Roos, did you catch this fight?
Yeah, I caught him, man. I agree with Ari, man. I enjoyed this fight more than the GGG. I actually watched it twice.
What? You watched it twice?
I watched it twice, man. That's how much I enjoyed it.
Is it because it was a matchroom fighter?
Well, you can't say it like why are you trying to shit on me?
Exactly.
You're trying to glass me, bro. Nah, I enjoyed it, man. But one thing I always talk about, is just boxers, showing up, looking in shape. Like, I compare Smith to Abraham, and there's like a age gap between them. But then you look at the old guy, is actually in a better shape than Smith. And Smith just looks like, if he shred down, maybe he could go a weight below, then we might actually get to see his power. And, he was half-hearted, man. Like, he's trying to throw the hook, and he's reluctant. So he's like, he's not putting it full on.
Yeah.
He was scared. He was scared, counter, and, Abraham would just open up on him, and he would just move him, and he would throw punches. Abraham would just block them, and he didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
But either way, I think he was just like, you know what, this guy is not gonna knock me down. That was his main thing. Even if I survive all the way there and try and look like I'm doing something. I mean, he was moving like a boxer, and he's not a boxer. It's like he'd be, moving with his legs, but then his head his head never moved. Because when Abraham was teeing off on him on the ropes, he's like, well, that's your time to move your head. Not when, you're in the middle of the ring, you do unnecessary movements, wasting energy.
Yeah.
And Abraham is just, galvanizing, he just recuperate, and he just coming off on him. He didn't have no answers, man.
One thing about Gallagher fighters that they try and do quite often is if they're against the ropes, they'll try and do a counter left hook and spin away. And you could tell Smith was trying to do that when Abe was letting off 4 or 5 shots. But Abe was clever because he kept stepping back afterwards, and Smith kept missing that leaping in left hook. So that was the only punch he was really relying on, because he tried it numerous times and it didn't work. I mean, he might have cut him once or twice, but overall he really didn't do shit to Abe.
Yeah, I mean, it's about that. But what do you reckon about, just looking at his body weight and it's just his body type? Do you think, obviously we're not seeing the power. Do you think he should go the weight below?
Are you talking about Smith?
Yeah, Smith, yeah.
Yeah, he came in quite light. I think he was only like 165 on the scales, so I don't know if he can't get them extra 5 off. I don't know what it is. Maybe
I think Smith's a lazy middleweight, to be honest.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Yeah, he is a lazy middleweight.
He could, but he's been at super middleweight for years now.
I know. He's been a lazy middleweight for a long time, then, hasn't he?
But Leon, what did you think of the fight?
I just thought, from what I saw, Abraham just beat the shit out of him. I gave him like 2 rounds. He looked horrible in there. Abraham hurt him in the 3rd or 4th, and he could have got him out of there. But he doesn't do enough work. But yeah, Smith looked horrible to me. I didn't think it was competitive at all, really.
there were a few times when Jim Watt and Nick Holland were like, "Oh, Smith's hurt," and I'm looking at Smith thinking, "Nah, he looks pretty fine, man." Those guys
he got buzzed up in the third or fourth. You saw his back leg stiffen,
Yeah.
and for some reason Abraham backed off him. I had like, two of my mates who are complete casuals, hardly ever watch boxing, and they just thought that it looked like Smith was getting the shit beaten out of him.
His face was really marked up at the end of the fight.
Up in that.
Yeah.
If you look at the there's an Eiffel London film. It looks like got elephantitis of the eye in that interview, man. It's massive.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's coming in there, man.
And one other thing that I noticed, like this is probably the reason why I watched it twice. I was mainly watching Smith. Like, just if you rewatch the fight again, just pick any round and see any time or any point where Smith actually bended his knees, whether it's in offensive or just attacking, moving back as a boxer.
Bend your knees, Danny.
Yeah, his legs was just like straight all the way, and it's like, you trying to move like a boxer and your legs are straight, you're using unnecessary energy, and I think he was just gassing out himself, doing unnecessary movement. Maybe that's why he didn't do much. But like I say, it's like I couldn't see the guy wasn't bending his knees, man. And you see Arthur, whenever he threw a punch, he was either just low enough, like the knees are bent, and and you let off that power, and you see Smith moving.
Yeah. Dan or Kev, did you guys catch this fight?
I caught the Abraham fight.
What did you think?
Basically, you guys pretty much summed it up for me.
Okay.
Same here.
You didn't watch it, did you, Dan?
I did watch it.
Props then. I thought you might have skipped the Eurobums.
Thanks. Hey, but Roos, so the reason why you rewatched the fight was just to see if the fighter bended his knees or not?
Well, I'm a technical guy.
Roos is all about the weigh-in. The weigh-in and the conditioning.
Yeah, and I like to see, what makes a fighter not do the thing he's supposed to be doing.
But even if they're bums?
Even if they're bums, that's the thing with boxing, Dan. You learn even from a bum for you not to be like a bum.
I disagree.
Well, that's, different folks, different strokes, I guess.
Yeah, we certainly are different folks.
Yeah. Moving on swiftly.
Yeah.
So, Cam.
Yes.
Do you think that it feels a bit like to me like that Gallagher hype train might be starting to derail a bit there? The wheels are getting a bit wobbly, aren't they?
Shame on you, Leon. The Gallagher train is going strong.
It could happen, man.
It's a fraud train anyway.
Stop dissing my boy.
Come on, I don't miss opportunity to
I did this on purpose, Ari. I threw that out there.
Trying to get me out.
To get you out. Because Hamada wants a rant. So
trying to throw a bit of bait out.
Exactly.
I'm not going to shit on Gallagher, because obviously they're fighting for a title, but come on, man. I don't. There's so much stuff about his training. It's where I don't think I know a lot, but I see a lot of things in Gallagher fights where I've said it. I don't know if I said it before. I'll say it. I just don't see any counterboxing in any of them. Like, he doesn't train counterboxing. None of them know how to fight on their back foot. This is all the same way with them, and it's one of the main reasons I think Frampton just.
I disagree.
Just sun's quick.
I think Crawler fights well off the back foot.
Oh yeah, Crawler has a bit of it.
Yeah.
Crawler's the only one. Callum Smith, I don't see it. He should be learning it by now.
Stephen Smith doesn't have it.
Stephen Smith doesn't have it. Quigg definitely doesn't have it. Who else has he got?
Done.
Cardle actually got a bit of it, surprisingly. But I think that's more down to Cardle's amateur training than what Gallagher's taught him.
Yeah.
So but at the same time, you say about the training, they had a good win streak, but who were they fighting in them win streaks? It's just that Gallagher's been known for trying to keep his guys
safe. You like that run?
Yeah, safe. Yeah, exactly. He liked that win streak he had. He was trying to keep as long as possible. He was trying to make a little legacy for himself.
He got that little 15-minute on Sky, didn't he? That little documentary about himself, and he enjoyed it, didn't
that shit. I didn't watch that.
You watched that.
I did not watch it.
No, I always joke about Gallagher, but the truth is, I like him as a trainer, but his personality is very hard to like. He's too overconfident, in my opinion. And he always like when he was talking about like Paul Smith's gonna knock Arthur Abraham out. I know you're supposed to have confidence and all that, but that just makes you look foolish if you're gonna think.
He must have just seen something in Smith where he thought he needed to hype him right up.
I know, but you just look foolish after the fact. Because
he did.
No one foreseen that, and if anyone put a bet on that, they were stupid to do that. But
I nearly changed my mind, didn't I, Cam?
Leon sent me a message on like Friday night or Saturday night, and he was like, "I'm close to changing my pick to Smith," and I'm like, "What the fuck?" Then he was like, "Oh no." Then I said, "Ask your wife, man," because she was good last time when she was making picks. And then she said, "No, stick with Abraham." But she went for knockout, didn't she? In the 8th.
She went for knockout in the 8th. Yeah. He doesn't like Scousers. That's her problem. I'm throwing her under the bus now.
Don't do that, man. You'll be sleeping outside tonight. But let's swiftly move on. We'll leave the undercard for now in case anyone else wants to talk about it later. We can. But let's talk about the news. Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao. I'll go to Daniel Lim first. Dan.
I got Manny Pacquiao by knockout.
Are you surprised it happened beforehand? Were you thinking it wasn't going to happen?
No, I always knew it was going to happen. Too much money to be left on the table, right? But at the end of the day, I don't want to be, that guy. But I don't know. Are you guys that excited for the fight? Because I'm just kind of, it is what it is. Because I was expecting it for so long,
I'm similar.
Yeah. I won't be really pumped until about a week or 10 days before, but I'm hyped.
I also read that there's not going to be any like 24/7 / all access. They're just each channel's just going to have a 1 hour special.
Yeah,
and
but to be honest, let's be fair. I mean, besides like Ness, everybody else has been killing the last like 3 installments of All Access as being pretty much shit. So
true, but a Manny Pacquiao Mayweather one would have been different, man. It would have been like that.
But at the same time, like the bias, like what's Showtime gonna show of Pacquiao? What's HBO gonna show of Mayweather? You know what I mean? Like that's tough to really, you know what I mean, to manage that with integrity. To see, like, to basically trust that. All right, we're gonna have them film out Fighter 24 hours a day for 5-6 weeks and trust that they're gonna, not try to represent him as being shady or something.
I feel like they would have been able to reconcile that pretty seamlessly. Just like
if they co-produced it, maybe.
Like if they both had access to each other's footage, and had not final say, but was able just to look at the final product before.
All we need to do is get one production company to make it. They both agree on it, and just let only one person film it, one company film it.
Yeah.
And they could make it easy, no problem.
Yeah, but you're not going to get one. If you're HBO, you're going to say, all right, you film it and you produce it, even though you're carrying the fight?
No. You get an independent production company. You always need a production company to do it, and they shoot it, and then you get together, edit it together. You can do that.
Share the episodes, like one episode on Showtime, the next one.
They ain't going to do it, are they? Because it's all dick swinging stuff.
Yeah.
Nah.
And I don't like what we're hearing from commentating side, where they're saying apparently Lampley, Bernstein and Roy Jones. To be honest, I don't want to hear Lampley, man. He's too biased, man. You just know how he's going to be. He's going to be all over Pacquiao the whole 12 rounds, no matter what.
But who's not going to be biased? You're going to have Paulie on there, being just as biased the other way?
Well, Paulie's not there, so try and get no bias.
That's what I'm saying. Lampley's probably the best. As bad as he is sometimes, he's the most known guy.
No, but he's too biased, man.
Who would you rather have, him or Ranello?
Him or Mauro Ranello, exactly.
Yeah, I guess. But
and Bernstein, I think, is better than fucking Max Kellerman. So I think that's a good move.
Yeah, I like Bernstein there. I like Bernstein.
Even though Bernstein is the fucking king of calling missed shots and then having Showtime run the replay and talk about a right hand that landed, and then after the replay, be like, "Oh, the right hand didn't land as I thought it did," because he does that at least 3 times a fight sometimes, but. I don't know. I think it's a pretty good. I think they put a pretty good broadcast team considering.
I think we should get Barry Jones of Box Nation.
Yes, now we're talking.
I prefer
That's the grade A stuff.
I prefer All Access to 24/7, so I hope they do All Access.
I think HBO does a much better job than All Access.
I used to like All Access better when too much music kind of interludes and shit. I
Dude, all they
prefer.
did.
So didn't
All
you
they-
just say you like All Access better, and now you're saying you like 24/7 better?
All Access has got less of the kind of music interludes. It has it now.
All Access doesn't show any training or boxing though.
Yeah, does it?
I don't. Showtime.
Yeah.
Showtime shows Floyd's cars and Floyd going to Good Burger and fucking
Good Burger. Is that
whatever
real?
the fuck that store is in fucking Vegas.
It's,
With
it's,
T.I. fucking
it's
swung
that
on.
Ross Greenberg guy. All his shit is the same. So the way that, yeah, you're right, Kev. Let me just backtrack completely. Yeah, 24/7's better.
But about the fight, the line opened up almost 3-1 for Mayweather. Does anybody think that's going to go down? Does anybody think that people are going to be betting Pacquiao with the odds, and that line's going to go down?
So you got what? So what is it? You got to bet like $100 to get, well, $250.
You got to bet
$300
$300 to win 100 on Floyd type of shit.
Yeah. So and it's the exact opposite the other way around. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
Well, it's a little less. I think it's like you risk 260 on every 100 you bet on Floyd, but you could win like close to 300 on Pac for every 100 you win. Do you guys think there's going to be a swing? Do you guys think that's about right where the odds should be, that Floyd's a 3-1 favorite?
Yeah, I think that's about right.
I think it should be about 2-1, maybe less.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was going to open up at about 2-1 as well.
I'm not good at math.
I think.
Yeah.
You're Asian, though.
Is anyone picking Floyd?
I think most people are picking Floyd, right?
I'm picking Manny.
I'm picking Manny as well.
Damn, really?
Hell?
So
A lot of crow for Maiden.
Yeah.
A lot of crow.
Motherfuckers are going to have to start taking orders in advance and cooking that shit early.
Yo, this shit probably be a draw.
Oh, yeah, I can see
no, that's what I
bullshit
think.
like that happening.
If I was going to bet, I'd bet on a draw.
Bullshit draw just so they can make the money again.
A draw is probably going to be like 2,500 to 1. Like every $100 you bet, $2,500.
No, they're saying it's low, the draw. It's a lot
okay.
lower than it should be, yeah. That's why
It's
people
usually
think,
like that.
Yeah. I think you bet $100.
Why
$1,500.
Cam, you were the first to basically say right away, like you're picking Manny. Why would you say? You think he could outwork him? Is that because that's the only chance I see? Because Floyd's punch output's been really low lately, and like you think maybe Manny could just outthrow him and win rounds just off activity?
That's exactly what I think. I think when he starts throwing those multiple shots, combos, and Floyd's against the ropes trying to do the shoulder roll, he might block on evading the first two, but you might get caught with the third and the fourth. So I think the output level of Manny is just going to trouble Floyd. And it's questionable because some people say, Floyd's legs are gone. Some people say they're not gone. They're still good. But I do think because of his age, he is slowing down. And obviously Manny's slowing down.
He got
slightly.
Ariza in there, though, kid. He got the Ariza shakes coming up for his legs. So.
I hate Ariza, man. The guy's a snake, man. He just goes from camp to camp like a fucking... just like a snake slithering through all the fucking boxing community, man. I hate that guy.
But he's just doing his job, Cam, man. That's what he's supposed to do.
Can't you have loyalty, though? Can't you stick with one camp and just, work with them? Why do you have to float from camp to camp?
But, I mean, that's his job, He's supposed to give advice to multiple people.
Roos, would you go to work for Frank Warren?
Yes.
I thought you were going to say no,
Yeah, I would.
Would you work for...
I mean, Cougan Cassius did.
True.
How the fuck did you get to this topic?
I don't know. It's me, man. I went off course.
But speaking of crow, Cam, do you need to eat crow, man, for saying the fight is not going to happen?
Oh, yeah, I do indeed.
You have to eat crow for that stupid shit.
I don't mind eating it, crow, because
crows for just for fights.
Now the thing is, though, I'm on the Lampley tip. I've got conspiracy theories about the fight still might not happen. Some shit will happen like the night before. Some glove issue or some other issue.
You still, you won't believe it until they're in the ring and that bell rings. Really.
Seriously. I'll get hyped up like Kev, like the week before or 2 weeks before, but in the back of my mind I'll be thinking some shit's gonna happen and spoil this shit.
No, I think at that point, I don't really foresee that happening just because too much money is on the table. You know?
Yeah.
And even with the situation with Madonna and Floyd regarding the glove issue, as petty and stupid as it was, you know, at the end of the day, you knew that it was going to get resolved because again, there was just too much money to be made by both gentlemen. So,
But it was the redistribution, though, Dan.
But supposedly, Pacquiao in the contract has the 8-ounce Reyes gloves. Do you think some bullshit's gonna happen right before the fight? Because you know that's horsehair. You know what I'm saying? The Reyes gloves.
That's what kills people, right, bro?
People's lives. People's dying in this sport.
Motherfuckers are dying.
You know what I'm saying? Never mind that half of my TMT fighters wear the same exact gloves. Motherfuckers is dying.
And one thing I am gonna miss is Leonard Ellaby and his big ass nostrils on 24/7.
What about his taped up goatee, son?
And his glasses.
That shit don't even go to the corner of his mouth. It just comes right down.
I saw an Ellaby tweet on Friday night saying, "Oh, the fight's happened. You know, fuck you to all your haters."
Never
basically
getting fired, man. He knows where all the skeletons are buried.
Yeah, he's got the maps in the woods where the bodies are buried, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's like Christopher the Sopranos. He ain't going down unless he's in a car wreck. You know what I'm saying?
And choked out.
That's it.
Yo, man, spoilers, man, spoilers. You just fucked it up for people.
I haven't seen Sopranos yet, man.
There you go. You just fucked it up for Dan.
20 years late,
loves that shit, man. Ari loves that shit. Throwing out spoilers.
I know.
No, I don't.
Yo, guys in the chat.
Man.
Guys in the chat, don't chat to Ari about any series because you just give you loads of spoilers.
But I most probably watched it.
And don't get him started on Jeremy Renner either. So.
Ari's a big fan of Jeremy Renner.
That's his Canelo.
He deserved an Oscar off the town, man, and Hurt Locker. Man. He should be a 2-time Oscar winner by now.
No, but Ari, going back to boxing.
That pug face, yeah. when no Oscar.
Hey, the Bourne Legacy erases all of that shit, though.
Hey, let's get back to boxing, right?
Ari, you were quick to say that there's going to be a lot of crow to eat on May 2nd. Why do you think? Yeah. Why do you think Mayweather's going to win the fight?
All right. Marquez.
Why Floyd's gonna be on the Marquez juice?
No, it's just Pacquiao is good, but it's his footwork will get found out. Counterboxing wise, you know, he's had 4 fights with Marquez now where he struggled to beat him definitively. Who is the second best counterboxer in the game? The best counterboxer in the game is Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah,
I just see Floyd, you know, outboxing him really, and footwork. Even though Pacquiao's faster than him. And that will be seen in there. And yeah, maybe Pacquiao will win off activity alone, but it's not activity I see that will, you know, get the judges. It's going to be the boxing and the right hands that are landing on Pacquiao, because obviously Pacquiao's a southpaw. The right hands will be different. And you say about flurries. When have we ever seen Floyd get hit by flurries? You know, he usually counters off the second punch. I just don't.
But sometimes you see him shell up and not do anything when the flurries are coming at him. And that's when Pacquiao could score. I mean, I'm picking Floyd by decision, and I've said that since 2009, even though I hate the guy. But when I watched I was watching like the Zab Judah fight, and I'm like, damn, if he did that for 4 rounds, why can't Pacquiao? And then that makes it an interesting fight. You know what I mean? Because Pacquiao's not going to wilt down the distance the way that, you know, mentally fucking weak Zab is going to do, you know?
I think that's the big point, is the southpaw thing. I think that's the thing that's going to trouble Floyd the most in the fight.
Because even when he dominated Guerrero those first 2 rounds, when he was trying to duck under, throw that straight right, because let's face it, this is what Floyd throws, is a lead right, or he throws a inside left hook right hand. So when he throws that lead right, he was trying to duck under, and Guerrero caught him a couple times. And then Floyd, of course, adjusted after the second round and just dominated him. But I guess it's a little bit troubling that, you know, even Bradley timed Pacquiao and hurt him last fight. And, you know, Bradley's got no power, and Floyd's probably got a little bit more power than Bradley, you know?
Yeah, but again, Bradley was fighting a stupid offensive fight, that fight, right?
Yeah, lucky
Floyd
punch.
match. I haven't seen Floyd that offensive since his days at 135.
Yeah. He's very. Yeah.
He's going to be so cautious in this fight. He's going to throw almost nothing.
And come on, guys.
Who do you
Manny
think the
Pacquiao.
referee's going to be? Is he going to get fucking Bayless again? And every time there's a hold, to just
I hope we get.
BTMT?
I hope we get the Luigi looking motherfucker, Cam.
Or the dude who looks like what's his name? The guy who ran for president. And shit, John Kerry. John Kerry's just so clueless that anything can happen.
All I know is that Manny Pacquiao beat a great fighter in Chris Algieri, his previous fight. What does Floyd have to say about that?
You don't think Chris Algieri is like perfect preparation?
But you got to remember, this is Floyd's hometown.
Vegas. It's Aaron's hometown before it's Floyd's hometown. He's been living there a lot longer.
That's a good point.
That's his money, man.
Man.
Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm just glad they've both finally done it. They've owed this for so long. That's the most.
What are the odds Floyd pulls out with a rib injury? Marquez One style.
Would it surprise me?
That would be fucked up, wouldn't it?
How much is a pay-per-view?
I heard it's gonna be $89.99 because they didn't want it to be $100. But then I heard that's the standard definition, so the HD is gonna be $100.
Yo,
so that's kind of fucked up.
You guys pay crazy money over
Yo,
there, man.
Leon Ari Roos, Chewed in the UK. I'm guessing that Sky are gonna try and get that, aren't they?
Sky have to get it. I didn't actually. I'll quickly before we get into that. I didn't know about the fight. I woke up. I didn't know anything about it. And then I turn on my TV, it's Sky Sports, and I see on Sky Sports News, Nelson and what's the other Muppet called? Smith.
Adam Smith.
Were talking about the fight, and then and then I must have spoke to one of you guys. And I was like, yeah, it's official. I didn't really. I believe at the time, been back and forth, but Sky already talking about it. So Sky have to, they do boxing. It's a big boxing. If they want it, they got it. They'll easy outbid Box Nation. Unless BT want to jump in quickly and say, look, we'll take that. They're the only ones who can compete.
That would be sick if they just did that, man.
Hey, I wouldn't mind me. I've got BT Sports right there.
Same here, so.
I don't
they're
care
going to
who's
make
got
a
it.
pay-per-view whatever happens, aren't they?
No, I don't think BT would.
Well, I heard rumours ITV were talking about trying to get in and launch, just having a channel pay-per-view for one night.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm paying for it no matter what anyway.
I ain't paying for that shit. I ain't giving either of those money. Fuck. I've never given a penny to either of those fuckers, and they ain't getting it now either.
All right. I was about to say
either of them.
All right.
Never followed either of them, really.
Yeah, no, I think there'll be a lot of negotiations.
Sorry, got salty there.
I was going to say you did get a bit salty there, but sorry, Reese, go on.
Yeah, no, I think there'll be a lot of negotiations, but like Ari said, I think Sky is most likely to be the first, on the pole, to, grab that deal.
Yeah, because they had that special with Manny recently, before before the Smith Abraham fight. They were talking a lot about this. They went live, I think, earlier just to kind of discuss the fight. So, and they've got deep pockets, like Box Nation. I heard like they're struggling financially, so I can't see them like putting loads of money out to get Floyd and Manny.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the the giant screen TVs when we went to see the Chisora Fury live, man. You saw how small they were.
Yeah,
yeah, they're on a budget, man.
That was boxing on a budget, that. But anyone got anything else to say about this fight before I get some callers on? We've got quite a list of callers wanting to jump on.
You got Hamada there?
Nah, Hamada's not on. He's
Hey, Hamada's been ducking us recently, man. Hey, Hamada, I see you in the chat, man. Call in, man.
Nah, man. Shout out to Hamada.
Get that guy like a hate out.
He's not at his normal house, man. He's at his mum's, I heard, because
I didn't know that.
He hurt his foot. So.
Hey, why are you exposing him for? Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, he busted his leg. Busted his leg playing football or something.
Yeah, but let me get to Robert Palmer. Rob, are you there?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Excellent, Rob. How are you?
I'm good. The one thing about what you're talking about, the pay-per-view, aren't Sky doing a pay-per-view the week before with De Gale and Selby?
Yep.
Nah, that's never been announced as pay-per-view.
Who's De Gale fighting?
He ain't gonna put. He ain't gonna put 2 world titles on it. It's not pay per view unless they move it.
Damn,
would
that pay per view really
I'm
sell?
gonna jinx Ari's boy, son.
Yeah, Kev, get off the train, man.
Miguel.
Kev, get off then, man.
Yo, I'm on that train.
Kev, I'm throwing you off. I'm the conductor.
Well, listen, I mean, Bellew against Cleverly sold, didn't it? So
yeah, but they're more known. They're more known, to be honest. You know.
Yeah, maybe.
Miguel hasn't really got a big fan base. You know, I'm his biggest fan. You know.
Maybe they could move if they could move the Gale back that card back a week, and then you do it as like a double bill. Then I don't see anyone complaining about that. You know.
No, I just don't think it'll be pay per view. I understand he's stacking it up, but it will sell well with O2. You know. They haven't announced it as a pay-per-view. I really don't see it being a pay-per-view. It definitely won't be a pay-per-view now that, you know, Floyd Pacquiao's announced. And Sky will definitely get it. If Sky don't get it, it'll be a shock, and it'll just be, I don't know who, like Leon said, ITV.
Would Sky make it pay-per-view, do you think?
What, Mayweather Pacquiao?
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then they could put Josh Warrington against, like, his mum on as a UK leg, and it still sell.
Oh man, I don't even want to talk about Warrington, man. I saw some disgusting behaviour on IFL vids.
When you with all the Leeds guys, Ari, you was out there with them singing all the songs.
Jesus, you're trying to get me killed. Nah, man.
I think they was Chelsea fans in disguise, if you know what I mean.
No,
we ain't getting into that.
Yeah, back to boxing, Rob. Keep on track, Rob.
Not politics, mate.
But, do you know what? Going back to GGG, like people keep talking about his defense being bad. Like, I don't know what they're talking about. Like, they must be watching different fights or something, because I was listening to the HBO like preview podcast. And they were saying Triple G, right, has got the second best defense statistically. Like, people land less shots based on what they throw against him than they do against Ward and Rigondeaux. His defense it's not a problem.
Nah, he did get caught with a lot of shots against Murray, though.
Yeah, maybe the Murray fight will change things, and that was the case. But I don't know, do you know what I mean? If he's fighting somebody and he respects that power, you're not going to see him going all out like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're saying off CompuBox percentages, right?
Yeah, off CompuBox
like the
percentages.
Yeah.
Obviously, the thing is like it's only Floyd Mayweather who gets hit less based on the opponent's output than
the thing I hate about the Triple G, I don't know if you heard it too, Palmer, is like retards like that guy Dante's Box Nation, like he describes him as like a plodding, slow, like Mexican type fighter, and like I think Triple G's got some of the best footwork in boxing. Like everybody's like boxers are going to give him a problem. Like I don't think he has any problem cutting off the ring and always being in good position to throw punches. Yeah. Like I don't know what about you, Rob? You feel that too?
Yeah, I agree. I think his footwork's phenomenal. In fact, I think pretty much every single thing about him is phenomenal, from boxing ability right down to just the way that he carries himself outside of the ring. Like he's just class in literally every single aspect that you could be.
Rob, the word class is reserved for Jim Watt, so don't use his word, please.
You know what though? Ari was right. You can't have Lampley doing the Pacquiao Mayweather fight, man. He hates Mayweather with a passion. Like, did any of you see the HBO broadcast of the Triple G fight?
And he loves Roach.
Man, he was basically like saying, "Oh, the fight ain't gonna happen." Like he seemed pissed off the fight was gonna happen.
And even when he announced that it was announced, he basically said a way of saying it was like, Floyd, after years of ducking, the fight's finally happening. Yo, I love that you don't even try hiding it. Fuck it.
Like, do you hear him talking about like how Jean Pascal has a history of injuries and like the fight on March 14th with Kovalev might not happen? Like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
I've got a feeling. I wouldn't be surprised if like Floyd has said, no, it can't be Lampley because he hates on me too much, and that's why.
I wouldn't have mind if they brought back, Barry Tompkins from back in the day, who still does some showbox cards. He's not bad, and he's kind of neutral because he's been on smaller cards and more outside of like the spotlight. Barry Tompkins does a pretty good job.
Yeah,
I think the problem with this thing is it's so, Floyd's such a character, and the Pacquiao fight so big. It's difficult to find people who are completely straight down the line about it anywhere, really. Isn't it?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. What do you guys think about Price as well? David Price.
The first 6 rounds, apart from the last minute, was fucking boring, man.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
I didn't even watch it.
Tony Thompson's got that soul.
Yep.
He gave it to his wife after the fight.
Yeah. I was thinking he needs to go, find out where Thompson lives, go knock at his door and ask for it back.
You might have to pay him for that, though, you know.
Have you guys not heard the rumours that David Price knocked out Anthony Joshua in
sparring? But not recently. That was like over a year ago, apparently.
That ain't.
It might even been before the soul taken.
I saw an interview with Price where he said he's only ever met him like one time, and that was at a fight. So
is that coming from the same source that said Khan was sparring Andre Ward?
Yeah, no, that was Price in an interview with iFilm. He said he's met Anthony Joshua one time, and that was at a fight.
When was?
Yeah.
No, he said he met him. They sat next to each other on ringside, so he's obviously gone mental.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Sparring. And I think Joshua bangs him out.
I think everyone bangs him out. I think he's done.
Yeah. I think even Chisora would take him out now.
Oh, I don't know about that. They're both looking pretty shot. Hughie Fury might outbox him.
Soul's on the side of the road where he's been road sweeping.
Yo, what Liam just said then, though, about Hughie Fury outboxing Price, I could see that happening.
Yeah, of course he could. He looked good.
Yeah,
really good.
Did any of you see the Fury fight? Because I didn't see it.
I did watch it like half-heartedly because it was a Russian stream. So
I watched it. Yeah, I watched the download.
Yeah, I find it hard to watch like fights in different languages, man. It's like the interest isn't there. But Huey looked good, man. He was controlling the fight with the jab. His lateral movement was good. Rudenko caught him a few times, but nothing big though. And respect to Huey, man, for taking that fight. Rudenko against Big Daddy Brown was. I thought he looked quite good, and just on Saturday he was a bit laboured in his work. He wasn't really putting in much effort. I don't think. I think he could have upped. No, seriously, I think he could have upped his work rate, but maybe Huey was just frustrating him with the jab. So
very good performance when you're coming off a 10-month layoff after you've had a very bad, health issues.
Yeah.
He's having that kind of fight.
The only thing about Huey,
that's kind of a tough fight to jump right back into, right?
Yep.
Yeah, very.
Yep. That's how the Furies roll, isn't it?
They just need to put some muscle on and shit, man. They do just look like unathletic bums sometimes.
Yo, Memo already is just a phone call away, bro. He travels overseas.
As long as the check cashes. But Rob, you got anything else for us?
Well, do you know what? It was I enjoyed it when the commentary went off on Sky and it was Ed Robinson and Matt.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. Robinson, actually, even though you could tell, they kind of, laid it on him. It's they give him probably 20 seconds, you got to do the commentary. It's okay, he's actually spotting things in the fight that are happening, telling you why a fighter's doing certain things. It was just refreshing. I'm a big fan of Ed Robinson, even though maybe you don't have, the personality or something.
Yeah, he hasn't got the voice.
You actually, even as a hardcore fan, you actually learn stuff when you're watching the fight. He's educated. He knows what's going on in the ring.
And he's got no bias. He doesn't seem to have a bias yet. That Sky bias.
No, even he says stuff he won't call the WBA a world title. He calls it a belt, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yo, that's why Robinson needs to leave Sky though, because the longer you stay at Sky, it's like the biasness gets infected into you.
Yeah, but where's he going to go?
But what's he going to do? Yeah, go work for Box Nation.
No, come on, he's going to start getting a healthy Sky check as well.
I think some of the American networks would pick him up.
I
don't know.
I think he could take over at Sky soon, but I think they worry about
Smith needs to bloody get in the office and leave it. Leave it to Robinson, man. I don't know why Smith needs to have his face in there looking all awkward.
Nah, but you know what though? I do enjoy when Smith commentates.
Yeah. I prefer Smith. No, that's the thing. Yeah, commentate. I've said it before, where I've said I wish Smith and on Hauling traded places, and I'd rather Smith do the commentary.
Yeah.
This is.
I don't really like Smith as the pundit.
Yeah, this is going to sound a bit strange, but I don't think you should watch boxing and see anybody on there that you think you could beat up. Like, my 7-year-old cousin could take Adam Smith in a fight.
That's why I don't watch 105 pounders.
Yeah. But, like, when you see Smith on ringside with his corduroy, like, shorts on, just, whatever. Maybe I'm being inverted snob here, but I think you should at least slightly be able to handle yourself if you're going to be on a boxing show, if you know what I mean. Like, a bit like, I don't really watch UFC, but that Joe Rogan guy, like, he looks like he could handle himself in a fight.
Yeah, he's he trains. He used to be a fighter.
Exactly. Yeah, but Adam Smith, like.
But you need you need some brain cells on that show, and they're most of those guys are guys thick as pig shit.
Yeah, but look at like Ed Robinson, like he's a smart guy, but he don't look like a fucking pussy, does he?
I think that's a nonsense comment. I don't think it's got anything to do with it. Sorry, mate.
No, I kind of see where he's coming from, to be honest.
Are you not backing yourself? Are you not backing yourself in a fight with? Adam
I'm not
Smith,
interested in a fight with Adam Smith.
How did the conversation get to Leon fighting Adam Smith?
No, man, I see where Rob's coming from, man. I do. I don't like Smith. He's just awkward, man.
Nah, Leon will just headbutt him, man.
He just looks weird. He just looks weird, man.
Adam Smith reminds me of that Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, they're weird, isn't it? That kind of weird. But I mean, it's funny. You're going back to it. I'll quickly say it. I'll quickly go back to it where you're saying about the commentary, Kyle. Yeah, it was funny, man. I messaged Cam. I was like, they're doing a bunts. I don't know if you guys sometimes with bunts is watching a fight, and the commentary goes and then bunts, and the other guy, I can't remember his name. They just start commentating. They start talking shit. But at least Robertson was professional with it. Bunts usually starts messing around. But yeah, man, it was funny, man. It was like, yeah, man. I was thinking, yeah, whoever cut the cables on Watton Hall and done a good job.
But it's true, because boxing commentary didn't used to speak every second of the round. Yeah. They used to let it flow.
Halling wants to speak every bloody minute.
Yeah,
he's always saying. One thing that he says, I don't know if guys in chat don't like us talking about commentary so much, but one thing he says is like, oh shit, I've forgotten it. But he constantly talks. So there's something he said. I can't remember what he says, but he's something he constantly says. Like, oh, he doesn't look good to me or something like that, and he says it like every round.
The thing about Halling is I don't think he likes to have like dead silence. He always tries to fill it, but sometimes it's nice to have those gaps of silence so you can concentrate on the fight a bit more.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed it. There was a period of like 2 minutes. You could actually hear like the coaches shouting stuff out. You could hear the punches. It was decent. I enjoyed it.
Yep. Rob, anything else? Because we've got to get some other callers.
No, that's good, man. Thanks for having me on.
Laters, Rob.
Bloody hell.
Cheers, Rob. All right.
Cheers, Rob.
We got Lukey on the line. Lukey, you there?
Yeah, what's up, man? I just want to say I agree with everything Ring Corner Kevin said. It's like he's reading my mind, bro. Like everything he thinks, that's what I'm thinking.
Is it because you and Kev have got the same hairline?
Maybe,
We go back like two flats on a Cadillac and my hairline.
Hey, dude, don't fuck with a dude with a fucked up hairline named Luke or Kevin, because they had to get it.
But what's happening, Lukey, man? What do you want to talk about?
I don't know, man. I just had some free time today, and I just was listening to you guys talk, and you were making me laugh, bro. People are ridiculous. I just love listening to boxing talk, bro. I can talk about whatever. I agree honestly with KH about this Golovkin. Like, people want him to stay at middleweight, but he's fighting taxi drivers, taxidermists, sandwich people, and people are like, but it'll be entertaining. Like 150,000 people will tune in. So, I mean, I think that's funny. Like, just fight where big fights are. Oh, I want to see Tyson Fury this weekend. That dude always makes me laugh, bro.
Lukey, what's your thoughts on this? Have you seen much of Eubank Jr.? And what's your thoughts about this Juvenile fight, if you have?
Oh man, this is such a tough one for me, because like I'm trying to figure out what the hell Eubanks Jr. Who he is, kind of like I've watched fights on YouTube, but I don't understand him. And then I saw this Chudinov guy in person about 3 or 4 years ago. He did a draw in California with Paul Mendez.
Yeah.
And they seem like they're the same fighter. They seem like they just kind of follow you around the ring, pity-pat, and then if they fight lesser opposition, they knock the guy out. But they're both really inactive fighters, and it's a really... I mean, I have to believe Eubanks Jr. is going to win because that's house money, but I mean, it's just a weird... it's just a weird fight.
Yeah, I watched a bit of Chudinov today on YouTube, and they are very similar. I don't think Chudinov throws pity party punches. I think if he can throw with a bit of intention. And for me, I was looking at his left-handed jabbing hand, and he does push it out lazily sometimes. And I think that's perfect for Eubank because Eubank loves to throw those long uppercuts with his right hand, and I can see him catching Chudinov. But having said that, I can see Chudinov hurting and maybe even dropping Eubank at a certain point in the fight. So I almost think it might be a little mini war if both guys start to engage. I'm worried that they might start off tentative and it might be a bit boring, but hopefully it might start, cooking up in the third, fourth round. I'm looking forward to that fight.
It's one of those crappy fights where it could be like a fight of the year candidate, but you don't want to say anything because it also could be like a top 5 worst fight of the year.
You know what? That's exactly how I feel. It described it perfectly, Lukey.
Yeah. I feel you, man. I don't know. Because I'm not in Europe, I don't get like the Chris Eubanks Jr. experience. It's like the same way you guys might not get like trying to think of a fighter over here that's like a mid-level guy, just a mid-level guy over here that I've gotten to know a little bit better. Like I just know that Chris Eubanks Jr. is a funny ass talker and he's got a good right uppercut and he doesn't throw a lot of punches. That's all I really know right now.
That's all we really know. We don't really know much about him either. Honestly, he doesn't talk much. You don't hear a lot from him in the press.
Yeah. It's just because of his, it's because of his bloodline,
Exactly, he's like the Chavez Jr.
His pop says enough.
But Lukey, do you know much about Chris Avalos?
I do actually. He fought Dryan Francisco. And he threw about 150 punches around, so that means he's probably on that shit. Because most people don't throw 150 punches around. Real active fighter. He's there to get hit. Kind of like an outside volume puncher. He's the kind of guy that's made for the amateur fighting system. I'm sure he had an awesome amateur career.
What about power-wise? Has he got decent power?
He can't crack an egg.
He ain't got a chance.
Frampton all the way then.
He's got no inside game, has he though, really? No inside.
Yeah. But I think he's going to have quite a big reach advantage in the fight. Like 5 inches.
Well, and also, Dryan Francisco hits fucking hard, guys. And, he's probably not as skilled as Frampton. I'm really high on Frampton. I think he's pretty fucking good. But just, he dealt with power before with Dryan Francisco, and he couldn't buy a fight for a while.
Yeah. He's got a 70% knockout. That's not bad for someone who can't break an egg.
Yeah, but who's he knocking out?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm just looking at the names
look
now.
At the guys.
Yeah, it doesn't look so strong. No, you're right.
I go my boy Frampton and that. But I actually need to, this week, I need to watch a couple Avalos fights. I actually haven't seen him. I think I've seen one fight of him. But I need to see a couple more because I just, But
fuck, Frampton. I was on the Frampton train too. Am I gonna jinx this motherfucker?
Get off it. Get off it.
Yo,
KH, get off that one.
Our boy Nyota is convinced that Avalos knocks him out.
Yeah, but Nyota was also convinced that
Silvestre
was going to win.
About my pick, then.
He was sure that Silvestre would beat Butler as well. I've realised you just need to do the opposite what Nyota says. To be honest,
Nelson's a hater.
He was sure of a dozen other fight of the year candidates that got turned off after the third round too.
Man, those guys. That's the worst when people tell me like 8 fight of the year candidates that I never saw and they're not in like a language I can speak and they're not, the production value is terrible. And they're like, well, you're not a true fight fan because you didn't go on Daily Motion to watch fucking 2 112ers fight.
In 240p resolution.
Oh, not even that. Like 120 or some shit. Like camera phone type quality. It's fucking miserable.
Yo, anything else, Lukey, you want to talk about?
I'll just go back to listen on the computer, bro. I just wanted to jump in, talk my shit, and then jump out.
Yo, thanks for jumping on, Lukey. Be entertaining phone call, man. Thank you.
Lukey, you got any more videos coming soon?
He's left the call, Kev.
Oh man, I know he put a couple on the Boxing Voices page that were pretty good.
All right, let me get to Jack. Are you there, Jack? Jack. Unmute yourself, Jack. All right, we'll wait for Jack to sort himself out.
Jack with a knockdown.
Jack is ducking the
Jack
show.
put me on to Huey Fury. I didn't really know him. He told me about him. I watched a bunch of his fights, man.
It's good, man. I like him a lot. He's only 20.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now, Jack. What's happening?
Got him.
Yeah, oh guys, sorry, I didn't know what was going on there. It's the first time I've got this tab and fucking hell. Sorry anyway.
No problem, Jack. Let's talk some boxing. You were in Germany for the Abraham Smith2 fight, man. Give us some backstage information and how the crowd was, how the fight was, any people you met.
It was crazy, mate. They organised this piss up at a pub about half an hour away from the weigh-in, and we got there about an hour early, and there was already about 60 Leeds fans in there just waving their flags, singing racist songs, and I was like, oh my fucking God.
Christ.
Just got out of
When you
there.
say racist, you mean racist towards Germans?
Where the hell was Leeds?
Towards Germans. To start off, it was towards Germans, and then it was towards just anybody, pretty much. They were singing all sorts of things, mate.
Yeah, I saw them clowns on IFL TV, man. I had to turn off, man. It's just cringy, man. I don't know how they're like grown men in their 40s. They had to like, I don't know. But wait, is this Jack the one with the silent hookup?
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. What? Are you actually part of the silent team? Like, I don't know.
No, not at all, man. I just basically I had a mishap with them once, and then they were really nice to me and just provided me with like a free ticket from here and for a few shows. But now I've got a press pass on my own anyway without them, so I'm all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's also like at the weigh-in, like Ricky not the weigh-in, the piss up in the because I did come back like at the scheduled time, and Ricky Hatton was there, and they were all going mental. They were singing to him, like calling him a God knows what as well. Do you know what I mean? It was crazy. First of all, though, they did that video. You saw the one where they're all singing Hatton Wonderland, and then they branched off calling him a wanker because they hate Manchester. Obviously, there's a big rivalry. But yeah, I thought that was a bit of a disgrace. Ricky Hatton's, a boxing hero to the UK fan. He should be anyway.
And what did you think of the fight, Jack?
But I've had it like 10-2. I thought Arthur was he looked very good, but better than I've seen him for years. Paul Smith was pretty much the same as he was in the first fight, but Arthur he'd obviously taken it seriously, just like I thought he was going to. He trained hard. He looked a lot better. And he threw punches with venom, which I was surprised though. Like he couldn't knock him out. I thought he was going to stop him late on, but didn't happen.
And what did you think of Price and Warrington?
Oh, Price. I was really disappointed because I'm a big fan of Price. Like,
what?
And I'm a big fan of Price.
You're the only one, innit?
No, there's a few. There's me and about 2 Scousers, and that's it.
One of them's Paul Smith.
Well, yeah, I was just screaming at him 1-2 because I wasn't too far away. I was about 4 rows back, and I was just screaming 1-2 because he was just throwing the jab. He wouldn't throw the right hand at all. Well, and he did. It was just like a pitter-pat punch, and we know Price has got serious power, and this guy. He was a cab driver. He's got a good record because he'd been fighting Sao Paulo cab drivers, or ice cream salesman. He's a cab driver there, an ice cream salesman, Yeah. So he should have taken care of him in 3 rounds easy. And then I was so disappointed. But the Warrington, he was fighting a complete bum. He's got no power. I don't know why the Leeds fans love him so much. What's it all about?
He's the only boxer.
It's because I think it's just because their football team isn't what it used to be, and they're hooligans. And they need to follow,
Yeah, anything to cheer for. That's what it is. They don't. they're not really boxing fans, in my opinion. You know, they just go there, all the lads night out, away from the missus. You know, get drunk.
Yeah, spot on, mate.
Embarrass themselves. That's all it is for them.
That's what I say about the big OnlyFans.
Yeah, the Buglioni fans as well, but they're more younger. They're more Buglioni's age. You know, they all link up again. Yeah, same thing. Get a drink up, start chanting the Frank Lampard chants for him, and
few cheeky lines, and off I go.
Yeah.
I've got to say that it wasn't all of them. There was like more than one section, you know, but there was a large. I'm going to say around about 100 of them that were complete idiots.
Jack,
you know, we can't say they were all the same. No.
Jack, what were your thoughts on the Triple G fight?
I only got to see the last 3 rounds because obviously, like we were leaving the arena and I just got back to my hotel and I was still writing up my report and stuff. And it looked to me at that point, Murray's face was in an awful state and I thought it could be stopped at any point. You know, Golovkin seemed to be inviting him to punch him, you know, to engage so he could just get the knockout. And I think after the first knockdown, Golovkin had a look in his face like he felt incredibly sorry. And, you know, why isn't the fight stopped now? Because this guy's got nothing. He's offering nothing.
That one
back.
uppercut split his whole shit up. His nose, his eye.
Yeah, I think it's still wrong, though. Everybody's still saying Golovkin's fighting tomato cans. It's just making them look bad because he's so good. You know, we can't not rate him because of that, you know. Some people keep thinking he's only fighting tomato cans, so he's not that good. But they're not tomato cans. These guys, like Martin Murray, to him, he's undefeated in his mind, you know, and so, and a lot of UK fans as well. And I think Golovkin is the goods. I think he is pound for pound for me. I think he's top 10 easy pound for pound.
He's top 5.
Yeah.
I think I've got him about 5th, 6th. I think I barely saw the fight. Like I said, I need to watch it from the start.
He just beat him up for 11 rounds, man.
Yeah, you don't really need to watch it. You saw 3 rounds, you've seen it all.
Murray showed amazing heart, just, you know, taking the punches and keep going. The punches that have stopped all the other Golovkin fighters beforehand, you know. Yeah. The ref had to stop the fight. You know, he got stopped in his feet.
Does anybody think that this fight is one of those fights that take a lot out of him, and now the next fight he fights somebody that you think he's going to beat, but it turns out Golovkin took all the fight out of him?
I disagree.
Like, you ever see that where somebody comes off a tough loss, but you're like, I can't believe they took so much, so you bet money on them, and then all of a sudden, like, the 5th hit, they're fucking rock, and it's like, what happened to him?
Yeah,
I guess the soul snatching that you guys talk about.
I hope not, but it definitely could have been.
I don't think he's ever been really hurt properly in many of his fights. I think he'll be okay.
Yeah.
He's mentally tough, you know. I think, you know, he just sees it as a job. He's quite robotic about it, isn't he?
I think after that fight, every other fight's going to be easy from now on.
Exactly. That's how I think he sees it as well. It's like, all right, if I can take that, then I should be able to beat most other middleweights around.
Yeah, I read on Boxing Scene today that he's extended his contract with Rodney Berman of Golden Gloves. I think it's another 3 fights, and Rodney's done a good job with him. You know, he had 2 shitty fights, to be honest. Yeah, he had Teta, which was like a tune-up that was shit. Then he had the Dominico Spada fight, which was shit as well. But that was more on Spada, I think. And I think Murray's one of the guys that you only see the best of him in big fights, which is a bit shit because you should always kind of give you 100% in every fight. But you can see when he hasn't got the motivation, when it's just almost a nobody. Murray doesn't turn up.
Mm.
But Jack, anything else for us before we let you go?
I've got a question for Jack. I've been asked to ask him by the chat.
Go for it.
Yeah, did you say about Kessler going up to 175? I didn't think it was you phoning it. It's someone else.
It wasn't me, mate.
Didn't think it was.
No, but
I asked him.
I was also going to talk about the other guy on the undercard, their main prospect, Coling. He sort of he was terrible. You know, he got cut in the first round by this Ricky, who was obviously brought in as an opponent. And he just tried to fight. From my point of view, it looked like he was just trying to be Arthur Abraham, Coling. He was just trying to come in with that high, rigid guard. against a guy who had a longer reach and much faster, and obviously could hit harder as well. By the looks of things, it was a complete terrible tactic, and he got really found out, I think, there. And then that was the fight. That was the fight that during there was the real problem with the Leeds fans, and there was a big 100-man brawl going on, and all the riot police came in. That was exciting.
Who were they fighting? The Germans or themselves?
I think they were fighting possibly people from Liverpool and possibly Germans as well.
or German Liverpool fans.
I think it started off with a German guy went in there with the flag, like when they were singing the Bombers, like the German Bomber song. And then I think a few Scousers, because they were quite close. A few of the Scousers were quite close to them, but you could tell they were Scousers because they were sitting down during like when they're going mental for Warrington and that, you know. And I think they got involved because a lot of beer was getting chucked over them, so they were having a little fight with some of them as well. It was all going off, mate. That was more entertaining than most of the card, to be honest.
Yeah.
I got to be careful what I say about Leeds. That's where my wife's from. But yeah, they're horrible up there. I'll say it, man. Fuck it. She doesn't listen to it. They're horrible up there, man.
But yeah, I got to meet Adam Smith, and I don't think he's not that much of a pansy, you know.
Yo, Jack, man, like Kali Sauerland was like hugging you really hard, man. You guys are good friends.
No, we're not good friends. We have a bit of banter on Twitter and that, like DMs and that. And I took the piss out of Eddie Hearn, I think, and I think he was loving it, basically.
Nice.
Hey, Jack, I don't know if I can answer this online. You ever seen Kelly take a line?
No, but he was I'd say almost certainly under the influence.
Yeah, he's always twitchy, man. You know,
his eyes are big as well.
He definitely has the telltale signs.
Yeah, he
was
buzzing, mate. He was buzzing. But then again, it was a big event. You know, some people do feed off that, but some people need a little bit of it.
I don't know, you know what I mean? Every time I see him in an interview, or he's always twitching, and you know.
Yeah, Jack, the event is every day for Cali.
All right, Jack, we got to let you go, bro. But thanks for calling in.
Yeah,
okay,
thanks,
guys, no worries. See you later.
Cheers, Jack.
Cheers, man.
All right, let's get to Brandon. Are you there, Brandon?
Yo, Cam, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Brandon. What's happening?
Hey, not much, man. I'm fucking pumped, man. How you guys feeling about everything?
I'm depressed my boy Murray got a beat down, but apart from that, I'm good, man. What do you want to talk about, Brandon?
Oh, come on, man. You knew Murray was going to catch that Triple G fade. I mean, that wasn't even...
I went UD,
Go ahead, man.
I went UD.
Oh, nah, man. I had Triple G in 6, and I was pissed, man, because it looked like Murray wasn't going to last. I thought Triple G was going to take him out of the 5th, because it seemed like he turned it on around like the 3rd or the 4th round. It seemed like he kind of ratcheted it up a little bit. But I had him going out in the 6th, man. I was pissed. I can't shake Ari off me, man, in the prediction league, man. Me and him are like stuck together.
What's your name in the prediction league?
Trying to get Arizona Slim, man. I'm trying to get rid of Ari, man. It's like I checked that shit on Friday night, and he's like, me and him are linked, and then it's like the same thing. So I'm like, I gotta stop picking with this dude, man. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm fast on your heels, man. I'm fast on your heels. I got 210 points on Saturday.
What? You know what? I fucked up, and I picked Paul Smith, man. I went with fucking him over Abraham. I don't know. You know, I really felt like Smith could pull it out because I just felt like Abraham was going to do the same shit that he always does, which isn't throw a lot of punches, a little peekaboo defense, and maybe Smith could hit him with some volume.
Which is be the king, King Arthur. Never bet against the king in Germany.
No. Kev, I said the same thing too. That to myself, like if it's close,
by hook or by crook, it's coming home.
Yeah, you're right, man. But what's been the topic of the show so far, other than the Mayweather Pacquiao shit, man?
Golovkin.
You know
what? Go ahead, man.
Golovkin and Mayweather Pacquiao.
Well, let me ask you a question, Brandon, because I wanted to ask Jack, the last guy. I seen Steve Kim say that Golovkin's record at middleweight is better than Bernard Hopkins. You know, Bernard Hopkins fought fucking Allen about 10 times. Fucking all that shit. What do you think?
You know what, man? I'd have to literally sit there and look at it via box rec. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm 30 years old, so you know what B-Hop was doing at middleweight from the time where he fought Roy Jones to the time where he like beat Oscar. You know, whatever that whole run was. You know, some of that shit I caught, some of that shit I didn't catch. But I mean, Steve Kim's a big Golovkin fan. If you don't know that, I mean, you just must not follow him. You know what I mean?
That goes back to what Rob Palmer said, is like people like the guys that give him access, and Steve Kim does mad videos at Big Bear with Triple G. I personally like Steve Kim. I think he does a good job, but he is in that camp a lot.
No, you're right. I like him too. I listen to their show. I mean, in this whole, you know, podcast, radio, blog talk world, whatever, you know, their show was the first show I ever called. So I mean, they're nice. He's a nice dude to me, seems to me. You know what I mean? Good writer, whatever, been following the sport for a long time. But he likes the guy. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. He likes him. So, you know, so Kev, I'm on your side with the Triple G shit, man. I want him to move up. But, you know, I want to give him the rest of the year to see if he can make a big fight happen. I really don't want to see the Cotto fight because to me that doesn't really do much for him at this point. It's just another, you know, a head on the
But he
top.
deserves that paycheck, though, man. You know what I'm saying?
He does.
And I'm selfish. I'm in New York, and if that fight's in the Garden, that shit's gonna be electric. So
that's true. That's true, man. But it's just like I don't know, man. I mean, it's just, you know, if Cotto was a bigger dude, you know what I'm saying?
He's up there. He's up in that weight division. He went and got those belts. It's on him. If he wants those belts, he's got to fight at that weight. It's bollocks, isn't it? If you can go up there and take belts, you can't just run away.
No, you're right. You're right, man. You know, I look at the Cotto situation the same way I look at how Roy Jones won the heavyweight strap. It was basically a belt grab. There was somebody that he selected that he could beat, and he beat him. You know what I mean? And then anything after that is kind of like, you know, icing on the cake, you know? Just like Roy Jones to me was not obligated to fight Lennox Lewis, Cotto to me is not obligated to fight Triple G. But he's got to give up the strap. I'm with you guys on that. He's got to give up the strap. 100% agree on it.
I like Bernard Hopkins. I mean, Bernard Hopkins at middleweight, if you think about it, he beat like Glenn Johnson coming up. He beat Segundo Mercado. He beat like Antoine Eccles, guys that were good at the time you never heard of after. But I guarantee the people because when I was watching him back then, he's my favorite fighter. People were saying the same thing they're saying about Triple G's opponents, was like, yeah, they're top 10. They're the best guys available, but they're not killers. They're not, you know, really threatening. But I personally think Triple G is a better middleweight than I would favor Triple G versus Bernard Hopkins at middleweight, prime versus prime.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
That's a good point, you know.
And I'll say it again. Hopkins is my favorite fight. I couldn't even bet against him in Kovalov fight because he's won me money over the past. I would favor Triple G versus B-Hop. But now let's see if Triple G, what he could do above 160, if he could do the shit as impressive as Bernard Hopkins did to elevate him to that great level. Like I said, when people said, what happens after he beats Ward? Well, then he stamps himself in history as a pound-for-pound great type of fighter. Let's see if he could do it.
Exactly. I think of Triple G more as Roy Jones Jr. versus B-Hop, because at the time B-Hop was doing all that shit, Roy Jones was the man. B-Hop was an afterthought. People forget about that because of, you know, what things are today. But, you know, that's what Roy did.
And James Toney before he fell off with his weight.
True. But I mean, I put Triple G more in that Roy Jones line where it's like, okay, you're cleaning out 160. I'm going to give you a little time. You know, if he can make the Quillen fight happen, that's kind of the one I want to see because I just want to see Quillen get folded up because I think Quillen's a complete fraud. But, you know, and then I want to see him at 168, man. You know what I mean? And honestly, guys, I've always said that I thought Ward would beat him, but I don't think so anymore, man. I'm like, you know, 55-45 Triple G, man. Now,
yeah.
I just don't know if Ward can do it.
You take away Ward's clinching, and that's, you know, like 30% of his game. And the way that Golovkin can get out of a clinch It's pretty impressive.
Be interesting. We got to see what Ward does, haven't we? You know, he might fuck up before we get to that fight.
Who's he gonna fight though? Like who are they even talking about? What's the word, man?
Just don't know.
Andre Ward isn't relevant at the moment.
Yeah, I mean,
you're right.
When's he going to fight? Like in June now, is it?
But I mean, who is it, man? I mean, you know, it's ridiculous, man. I can't, you know, I'm an SOG fan. I like to see him. I'm just a fan of good fighters. I'm a fan of the sport, so I'd like to see him, you know, do his thing. But it's just at this point, it's just like you guys said, he's irrelevant. You know, bringing up his name is just kind of stupid. Because I mean, what Triple G's probably fought like 6 people since the last time fucking Ward's fought. It's like, what the fuck, man?
I think.
Country. Sorry, is Rock Nation not like a East Coast? You American guys would know better. Is that not like an East Coast based organisation?
Nah, it's nationwide.
Is it really?
Yeah, they've done a lot with Kevin Durant in Oklahoma City. They've done a lot with CC Sabathia here in New York. They've done a lot with Robinson Cano in Seattle. They've done a lot. I was very surprised that Al Heyman basically just shut him down that quick like he did. That was fucked up.
So it was a
That's
bad
another case
business.
of boxing killing itself. I mean, they allow one guy to shut out probably the most popular person in mainstream, you know, fucking America right now. Like that's not good for business, in my opinion. And every other promoter was cool with it. Like Aaron was cool with it. De La Hoya was cool with it. But Al Heyman, you know, shut it down the same way he shuts down every big fight people want to see. It's fucked up.
So they're still in it? Are they completely gone then? Are they not doing boxing anymore? What's the...
Well, I know Gary Shaw left, and, you know, he was the one that was basically running a lot of the boxing operations, and, like, a lot of their fighters that they were going to have, I don't think it finalized and went through. So you're looking at basically just Andre Ward. You know, they have no dates right now. They have no fights set up. So, I mean, you know, Al Heyman basically did what he did with the Rigo versus Santa Cruz fight, and he did with the Chavez versus Golovkin fight. He came in and shut that shit down.
Seeing Gary Shaw leave was that was a big hit, man, because that let me know that they didn't want to listen to anybody. You know what I'm saying? They had a boxing guy in-house to run it with some money behind him, and they just didn't want to listen to what he had to say, most likely. So that, to me, that just shows you that I don't know how that's going to work out.
I think Shaw is actually coming and Heyman's giving Shaw work, to be honest. So I think that was kind of like a coup on their part. The same way, like, you look at right now, like, the whole reason why that March fight with Nicholas Walters got called off, because he supposedly got the flu, 10 weeks before a fight. Well, supposedly his manager's cool with Al Heyman now, and they're working together. So they were like,
Wow.
fuck it, you're not going to be on an Al Heyman card because, my boy is supposed to fight on that undercard, and that's basically, from what I heard, that's why the card got shut down, was now the Axeman's manager is going to be working with Heyman, so all of a sudden he catches a flu 11 weeks before a fight, and he has to cancel a fight.
Well, so you think Walters is going to be going over to Heyman then?
He's probably not. I don't think he's able to sign, but the fact that his manager is going to work hand in hand with Heyman he's basically a Heyman fighter. The same way all these guys with DeBella now are basically Heyman fighters, because if you look, like, everybody keeps bringing up the Ali Act and shit like that, which is basically meaningless because no one's ever won a case with the Ali Act. But he basically uses DeBella as his promoter, as a front for some of these events. And so if DeBella signs a fighter, that's basically like Heyman tossing him a bone and letting DeBella basically be his promoter in name only, but it's really a Heyman fighter. Like that guy Kaitrov and a couple of the other Ukrainians are with DeBella / Heyman and shit like that.
But wouldn't it be? Don't you think it'd be a bit different with Waters though? Because he's with Top Rank and.
I don't know if Waters is with Top Rank. I'm not sure. Like, I don't know I think he just had a one fight option. I'm not sure.
You'd definitely be signing over to Heyman then if
that's what I'm saying. He might not be able to sign to Heyman because the way he has the manager contract structured, but all intents and purposes.
But he'll be on his cards basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so we most probably won't see the Lomachenko fight anymore then.
No.
Well, no. Nah.
Oh. I'm surprised
sad,
you said
man.
that he had a one fight deal where, Arum fed Donaire to him. So maybe that, I would have thought he was
I thought
a
he had
top
some
rank guy.
options. I thought he had
Yeah,
options
I
on
would
him.
have thought that was his guy now where, he take the crown, he's taking the crown off Donaire, he's taking
I
his
think he
bars.
wanted Waters to be one of his guys. Think about it. He was putting him in New York with Crawford. Those were the two guys that, let's face it, Bob Arum has admittedly not been successful in the last 15 years promoting, black fighters, so he was going to try to put Crawford, who already had the Omaha connection, and Walters on the same card and basically showcase them in New York to try to get them over. I think that was his big plan because, like he said, he admittedly has done a bad job with Bradley and other fighters, and he admitted to doing a bad job with Floyd. So, I think he really wanted to build Waters, and that kind of hurt that he's basically potentially losing him. He might have one fight with him, but then again, he might not. He might just get bought out. Who knows?
So, apart from Johnny Gonzalez, what other featherweights has Al Haymon got?
I don't know.
He's got Lomo. He's got Gradovich, and he supposedly has Walters. I'm with you, Ari. It makes more sense that he would have a little bit more of an ironclad contract with Walters because he fed Donaire to him. You would think he could have just as easily made the Lomachenko fight.
Yeah. That's too many boxers are doing that now. They go to Al Haymon if they want to duck a guy. But hey, listen, Al Haymon's great for this work.
Brandon, we got to let you go because we've got some more callers, but thank you for phoning in.
All right, man. You guys have a good one, man. Appreciate the time, man. Oh, real quick, who's in the prediction league this week, or what's the fights this week?
Yeah, we got 5 fights. Solis versus Thompson, the rematch. Pablo Sousa Canal versus Juan Carlos Abreu. Carl Frampton versus Chris Avalos. Tyson Fury, Christian Hammer. Chris Eubank Jr. versus Dmitry Chudanov.
All right, man. Talk about the UK fight some, because over in America we don't get to see them. And how I pick them is usually by going to a betting odds site and looking at their box rec. So I need a little bit more info on these guys, man.
All right, man. We'll talk about that towards the end of the show. But thank you, Brandon.
All right, man. Peace.
Cheers, man.
All right, let's get to Hamado.
Hello.
What's happening, Hamado?
First time caller.
Nah, that don't work here.
I'm joking, man. Listen, I ain't ducking. Ari, I ain't ducking.
No, I'm not saying you're ducking, man. I like your calls, innit? Do your thing.
Yeah, man. What you not saying?
No, man. What do you want to talk about? What do you think of Triple G?
You look bashed up already, man. I want to talk about Joe Gallagher.
Here we go.
I forbid it.
No, go on.
I want to talk about Eddie Hearn. I want to talk about Paul Smith.
Go ahead.
Paul Smith is a bum. Straight bum. He's a straight bum. Listen, man. He went from before the fight saying Abraham's shot, Abraham's this, to being the second best super middleweight after Carl Froch.
So true. That's weird.
Fucking hell, man. This guy, he's useless, man. I mean, the girl stopped him and the girl was like a novice. He was like 7-0 and he knocked him out.
Yeah.
And this guy's fighting for a world title. That's how you know boxing's in a bad state, man. But yeah,
Well, it was supposed to be his defense first time, innit? It was supposed to be an easy defense for Abraham, and then, he took him too light. It
tells you
that he took that belt. Yeah, you know what I said about Abraham before. We've got 3 boxers better than him in this country alone.
Yeah, it's true. It's true, man. And
I
Joe
think
Gallagher
Smith
needs some
could have
crow,
a good
man.
fight.
Joe Gallagher needs crow. He's talking about knockouts and he's lucky Paul Smith didn't get knocked out.
Joe Gallagher wears the fucked up hat?
No.
That's
Who's that guy?
George. That's Paddy Fitzpatrick.
No. I think you talking about the do-rag, Kev.
No, not the do-rag. He usually wears a big top hat type of shit.
Oh yeah.
Like a fedora.
Yeah, fedora. Yeah. That's
See, come and think about it, British trainers wear a lot of stupid hats. Ricky Hatton's trainer used to wear one as well.
Maybe who's the guy who used to train David Hay?
Adam Booth.
That's Adam Booth. Yeah. That's,
he needs a hat.
Yeah. he'll rock a stupid hat from time to time. He must be blessed with the hairline too.
Yeah, he's rocking a baldy.
What happened to Adam Booth though? Back in the day, Adam Booth had a full head of hair. Like if you see some of David Hayes' early fights in his career, he had a full head of black hair and he wasn't even grey or anything. I don't know what happened to him.
More streamlined to be bald, man.
David Hayes' injury cost, it just kind of rubbed off on him.
On his head.
Trust me, that shit happens quickly to you, man. Don't laugh about that. I'll sneak up on you, man. That grey hair will sneak up on you, man.
What else, Hamada?
I'm feeling the heat over here myself, man. I'm telling you.
Yo, we're going to be sponsored by Just for Men soon.
I'm going to start going down that path soon, you know.
but what else you got? What else you got for us, Hamada?
CVS brand Rogaine.
Just dye the top of your forehead black.
Some shoe polish like LeBron James.
Yeah, I'm going to have to start seeing some work.
Yo, you guys see the supersized custom headbands they make for LeBron James now? Yo, his hairline's going so far back, they try covering it. They give him like a headband that's twice the thickness. You guys don't watch no basketball, do you?
Nope.
Jesus Christ.
Not before
fucking
playoffs.
bums.
You know me, man. I don't watch it before NFL season's done.
Oh, NFL, I hear you.
What a time.
But
At least you
Hamada,
watch one real sport.
Hamada, you got anything else for us?
Yeah, man.
Barely said anything.
Yeah, but he's barely talking, man. You guys are talking about hairlines and shit, man.
Sorry.
Hamada ain't bringing the heat. That's why, man. We got to fill up the time.
my boy Lee Selby's gonna snatch Gradovich's soul.
You think he's going to stop him?
Snatching that soul, man. Easy. Gradovich is coming in for a payday, man. Because it's going to be on pay-per-view. So he's coming for that payday.
I don't think it's going to be a pay-per-view, man.
George Groves high up, man. George Groves is saying that.
George Groves is just... You know George Groves already. Come on.
Groves is saltier than Leon.
He's fucking double salty, man.
Eddie Hearn's the most saltiest guy. He's shitting on Price for no reason. Like, alright, Price did look shit, but then I can listen to that. But then when he goes off saying Anthony Joshua, imagine Anthony Joshua, put him in there then, but he's not ready. Fuck off then. No fucking bring his name up.
It's true though, that's true.
It's true.
Anthony Joshua's got back problems.
Exactly. He's not even fighting.
When's he back? Is he back on that Newcastle card?
Yeah.
Who's he fighting?
Yeah.
Is it the Kevin Johnson fight?
No, it's TBA at the moment.
Shit, another
So he ducked Kevin Johnson?
Yeah, so
I thought Kevin Johnson was going to be on that 25th of April, you know.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah.
He's going to fight on April 4th in Newcastle, and you know in the prediction league, that straight first round knockout written all over it.
Don't spoil it.
Get the 60 points easy.
Don't spoil it.
We shouldn't put that in the league, man. It'll be some bum you fight.
No, we need to jump up.
Yeah, but everyone's going to go for it, and everyone's going to jump up.
Man, he ruined it, man. I'm looking forward to that 60.
Yo, I haven't had a 60 this season so far, man.
Man.
The prediction league is tight, though, man. It's like, apart from the first few people at the top, everyone else is like close to each other, man.
Yep.
Fucking Segura's been top for about a month.
Yeah, but there's only 2 points in it to the two people in second place, so it's
There's one guy, There's one guy that got like 200 and something points. I don't know what he was
Alan
getting
Hurst.
right.
Yeah, Alan Hurst,
That guy
230 points he got.
So much points. He must have got the round for David Price and all that, innit?
He got Price and Golovkin.
Yeah, Price and Golovkin.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything else was a UD, innit? So it must have been that.
Yeah, but yo, Hamada, we got a lot of people still want to call in, so is it alright if I let you go?
Alright, man. No worries, man. Peace, man. I just wanted to show Ari I went ducking, man.
Alright, nice one, Hamada, for phoning. Take it easy.
Later. Alright, yo.
Alright, we got Joe. It's White Ski Mask Joe. You there, Joe?
Hi, boys.
What's happening, Joe?
What's happening, boys?
What do you want to talk about?
That was a good weekend, wasn't it? Really good weekend. Just touching on Paul Smith. I haven't got a problem with him getting back-to-back world title shots. You know, they were good fights, man. I'd rather see that than that guy that Abraham fought before, that Shezlaka.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was horrible.
I prefer seeing them. I mean, they're competitive. It did show that, you know, Paul Smith ain't world class, fucking not according to Nick Hallin, but, you know, he's a decent level fighter. I mean, he's no bum. Let's get that straight, you know. He'd probably beat that fucking Gil Bumto Sanchez that the Mexicans are all going nuts
I
at.
don't think he would, man. If you look at Paul Smith's record, it's pretty horrible, you know.
Yeah, well, you know, he's come on late in his career, and I reckon he's got a question of motivation, you know, when he got knocked out early to go. And, you know, if he trains hard, he can put in a decent performance, and he's probably a top 15 super middleweight, you know. But, yeah, no, I thought it was a decent fight. GGG just fucking raped Murray. I think there's got to be a serious... I don't know if you guys touched on it earlier, I wasn't listening, but, you know, I'd really... You got to think about Oliver Harrison pulling out Murray a couple rounds earlier, you know. It's fair enough Murray having big balls, but, you know, your trainer's got to sort of see that you've got no chance of winning that fight and spare him unnecessary punishment.
Yeah.
So I wasn't too impressed with that. I got absolutely raped in the prediction lead as well on the undercard. I went for all these mad little split decisions that I thought would come off, but well, I went for Heike Budler on a split, and it's just ruined me. But I don't know if you guys caught that Eurosport card, but yeah, no, there's this really young Welsh guy called Alex Hughes, who looks a real talent. He's a super middleweight. He's had 3 fights and he's had 2 KOs. But he's at Gary Lockett's gym in South Wales, and man, this guy looks like the real deal.
What's his amateur record like?
Well, the thing is, he beat all like the top amateurs. Like I think he beat Agogo and all that when he was in the amateurs, but he had a brain. He had something wrong with his brain, and he had to take a couple of years off to get scans and all that. And so he didn't go to the Olympics, but I think he was penciled in for it. But he's just come back into the program now, and he looks so slick. And there's in boxing circles down in Wales, I mean, there's a lot of talk about him. So he's definitely one to keep an eye on in the future if you see him on any undercards.
Joe's repping the Welsh flag.
Yeah, got to rep that shit just before Lee Selby snatches Gradovich's soul, like the last caller said.
Nice. Anything else, Joe?
One thing I get pissed off about is how much people react to what trainers and fighters say in the media. I mean, these guys are just saying these things to create a reaction or for a push an agenda. I mean, they don't actually believe it, and the amount of people that get annoyed that think, oh, but you said that they'd knock him out, what a dickhead. It's like, well, mate, he's just saying that to try and get inside someone's head or to push his fighter. You don't really believe that Floyd cares for what the fans want, or that Joe Gallagher actually genuinely believes Paul Smith was going to knock Abraham out. People just got to get fucking real to the fact that, you know, people say things in the media to push an agenda. They're not actually saying things because they genuinely believe it. That happens. There's a very rare percent of what people say actually mean what they say. You know, they're just pushing something. So yeah, it just annoys me when people get really uptight about stuff like that.
No, I know what you're saying, but if you're gonna say something and defend your own boxer, I think you have to believe in it. I think if you lie just for the sake of the media or to maybe put a bit of confidence into your boxer, I think overall in the bigger scheme of things it looks bad, because the other boxers in your stable might start distrusting you because they're thinking, well, what was he saying about him? Did he really believe it? So I do see your point though.
Just last thing. David Price, man, he's regressed. Biggest punch in boxing, you're having a laugh, mate. He started like slapping and shit. He just looks like he looks so scared about what's coming back at him. He doesn't want to let his shots go.
And I think he's back with Franny Smith now as well. He's had a few trainers and he's back with his old trainer. So
yeah, I mean, he's lost all his explosiveness. I think put him in with any decent heavyweight, he gets iced.
Yeah, I think he'll be gone in a year. He won't be boxing in a year.
He just needs one more, and that'll be it. He's got one more sort of run at it, and then he'll get absolutely dropped, and that'll be it, really. But
I see the Audley Harrison in him.
Yeah, man. I see that too.
Yeah, but Audley could win a prize fighter, where Price will never even win that.
It's a shame. So I don't mind Price. He speaks quite well. He could have gone far.
Yep. All right, Joe. We got to get to some more callers. But thank you for calling.
Cheers, boys. Looking forward to next weekend, man. It's another week of cracking fights.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Joe.
Cheers,
Joe.
Right, we got Segura on top of the predictions league, number 1. What's happening, Segura?
the king.
Boys, how we doing?
Excellent, bro. How are you?
Class.
I'm doing well. Hey, True, I was listening this morning to the boxing voice a little bit, and I had to turn it off. It was going to ruin my day. I was listening to you and Ness go back and forth, and I was trying to figure out why he wasn't hearing you and hearing your point. And I figured out the disconnect. Ness has no basis for, I mean, he says he doesn't watch any other sports. He has no basis for like seeing what a functional sports league or association does. Like you guys watch football, meaning soccer. I mean, we Americans, we watch all different sports. You guys do too. So he's just rooting. He sees Al Heyman for this kind of like, I don't know why everybody likes him, but he sees him like signing all these big fighters, making these power moves. And I think he's just jumping on that blindly. But I mean,
the best is when Vic actually puts him in his place. Like, we haven't even seen a card yet. Like, it's almost March, and we haven't even seen he has 100 whatever fighters, and there still hasn't been a card.
Yeah, yes, and they've made a couple good cards like coming up. All right, and that's good. But it's like, what's the end game here? Is he gonna monopolize the sport and then just turn everything to shit and pay all the fighters a bunch of money for that? Like, I respect one thing about Heyman. He doesn't act like he's like saving the sport and like going to make great fights. He doesn't say shit because he's not going to lie to us. We know, everyone knows what he's doing.
Shit, I know a bunch of fighters that are signed to Al Heyman who have never even talked to him. They can't even get him on the phone if they wanted.
It's an interesting point, Segura, because any time I've tried to call up the boxing voice and talk about it in a kind of reasonable way, I get shouted down. I get called negative.
You get called negative. You're a pessimist. You're angry.
You're a hater.
You're a hater. Like,
where is this shit coming from?
Like Adrian Broner fighting Molino off of 2 losses is something that you should be really hyped about. Like, you know what I mean? Like Adonis Stevenson versus Saki Obika was like, damn, this dude's doing things that's never been done in this sport. He's taking Saki Obika, who hasn't won a big fight at 168 ever, and he's putting him in against the light heavyweight champ of the world. Like, I don't understand why he doesn't understand why there's some Heyman hate out there. Like,
yeah, that's a good point on that one. Like, he's putting on some good fights, like the Thurman, Garcia. He's doing
the Garcia fight is horrible because they just the not having the belts and it being a catchweight. That's even a pointless fight. Absolutely pointless fight.
I mean, yeah, that's a good point, but I think it'll still be a good fight.
It'll be good, yeah, but it doesn't mean anything.
The really interesting fight that he's picked is Guerrero and Thurman. And Peterson Garcia is not bad. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Peterson,
it's a fun fight that lost all of its
the rest of them are, you know what I mean?
Peterson Garcia is a shit fight.
You think so?
Dan.
Yes. Peterson got the living shit beaten out of him by Lucas Matisse. And then Danny, took Lucas to school the way he did. I think that's a bullshit fight.
Especially at 143 when Peterson has no issue making 140.
Yeah. A retarded fight, man.
I think Matisse, I think he dropped Pete. Like, I don't think he's that much greater than Peterson. I think he got him out of there, and it was awesome. And I think Garcia beat up Matisse, but I don't think he's that much better than him. He beat his ass, but his eye was closed for 6 rounds. Like, I think there's something to say to that. I think Peterson and Garcia aren't that far away, just, based on it was kind of like A beat B and B beat C. I don't really think that matches very well for this situation. You know what I mean, Lim?
No, I completely understand, Segura, but I don't know. It's just it's hard for me to justify that fight when I never rated Peterson highly. Maybe it's just because I don't like people who have low testosterone.
Plus, when Bradley beat the shit out of Peterson, and Bradley has no power, and he battered Peterson around at 140.
Can I just play devil's advocate? Peterson beat Amir Khan, who everybody loves Amir Khan nowadays.
No, but
No, he
didn't
didn't.
really
No, he
beat
didn't beat
Amir Khan,
that.
to be honest.
He didn't
Come
beat
on,
him.
I thought he won that fight.
he had a biased ref, 2-point deductions, and I still had Khan by a
And
point.
he was on that too.
He was on
them
them power pellets.
Exactly. And then he failed the test, and he somehow, even though I like IBF, I think they're the best organization. It's ridiculous that he kept that belt, and then he got knocked out, and he still kept the belt. It's just
And he'll lose again, and he'll lose again, and he'll still.
And you have the belt, so
exactly.
This guy's going to be breaking records for losing and still being a world champ.
Yeah, I mean that kind of thing. Watching, following boxing, that doesn't even bother me anymore. Like that kind of thing, I just kind of chuckle at. I mean, there's so much other shit that I guess you will catch your eye more than that. And at least we're getting a fucking decent fight out of it, at least in my eyes. But then, look, what's alarming is on CBS. That's Channel 3. That's the top, or at least has been one of the top networks in the world. I mean, in America. And he's putting on Bika, KH, you just said it, Bika versus Stevenson as the christening of boxing on CBS. That's not a good sign.
Yeah, he has 5 big dates, and one of them is that. And the rest of his dates are going to be on NBC Sports or Spike TV. So he has 5 big dates, and 2 of them are going to be Chavez Jr. versus Fanfara, and one's going to be Adonis Stevenson versus what's his name with the ugly wife, man. Fucking, I don't know.
Whoa, that's a low blow there.
At least we know why he's signing, because at times you're thinking, why is he even signing this guy where he's signing a bunch of bums at times. He's just signing pointless guys. Now we know they're just going to be filling out his undercards for the Spike TV. They won't be getting big views on Spike TV.
Guys,
I know about Spike.
Guys, I can't see the Fanfara Chavez fight happening. Do you guys agree, or do you think it will go ahead?
No, I think
it will go ahead. It will go ahead.
It's a warm-up fight for Chavez.
Yeah. Bob Arum will let that happen, so they've got a case against him.
What do you mean? A case against him in what sense?
He's still got him under one. He's still got one fight with him, apparently.
Yeah, Canelo's old trainer. People obviously think that Oscar De La Hoya signed him from the start, but apparently Canelo had an old fucking Mexican trainer and signed him under contract. And the more fights that Golden Boy have with him, the more the case builds up against Golden Boy. And they've tried to settle for that out of court, but the Mexican trainer's like, nah, what you're offering me isn't enough.
Yeah.
So the more fights he has, the more the settlement goes up, potentially. So it'll be a kind of similar thing.
I see. Cool. Seguro, you got anything else for us?
Yeah, I got a little bit more. So the last thing, going back to the Chew conversation with Ness. So the last thing where I had to turn it off and start going to work was you guys were saying that you were saying that it was shit that Al Heyman booked the StubHub for that date to seems like to block the Matisse Provodnikov fight.
Chess move.
And Ness was saying it wasn't necessarily a chess move, and then I think Jameson Rocket came in and he was like, yeah, I think it was. And then he was like, Heyman, and Ness was like, well, it's their fault. It's not Heyman's fault. I mean, all right, maybe, but you're rooting for this guy. You're in his pocket now. You're praising his good moves for fucking blocking the best fight of the year.
It's not Heyman's fault. He intentionally cock blocked the fight, and he doesn't even intend to hold the fight there that night. He just paid rent to keep Golden Boy and Top Rank out of there for putting together a fight that would have never happened with Heyman involved, because Ruslan and Lucas is only happening because Heyman got kicked to the curb. Otherwise, a fight like that wouldn't happen. But meanwhile, Ness is hyping up Heyman like he's the savior. I don't get it.
The worst thing for me about this whole Matisse Provodnikov thing is that their fight's happening at Turning Stone Resort and Casino, where that should be in Barclays Center or some shit, man, not at some little Friday night fights place that they use on a regular.
Yeah, I feel like that deserves a 10,000 fans
jam-packed. Passionate fans, not
Definitely.
casual fans.
Exactly.
Do they sell tickets though? I don't know. Do they have big enough names to sell live tickets? Those two.
Not on that coast.
That's why it would be ideal.
Ruslan and Barclays, he fought Algieri, and Sean was on the card. That's why they do good tickets. But they can find enough local talent because that's a fighter's fight. Like if they put that in the theater at Madison Square Garden, they'll get 5,000-6,000 people in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're two big enough names. All you need is one or two local talents that could sell tickets, and they'll be cheap too, and that fight will sell.
But see, the thing is, though, Kev, this is the kind of fight where you want a casual fan to watch. Like, I want to tell a friend at work, hey man, watch this fight. So when they watch the fight, you're going to have empty stadiums. They're probably thinking, oh, fucking hell. Can't be that good a fight. Subconsciously, like,
Yeah.
I know us will be watching the fight, we couldn't give a fuck about the fucking people in the stands. But I'm just thinking, okay, if I want to get someone to watch the sport and they're seeing this fucking, bingo hall, glorified bingo hall, and it's just like, that could have been so much better. And even for the fighters, where would the fighters want to fight? The Stub Pub or a fucking Indian casino?
I agree.
But, can I just say, Segura, I don't know you, I didn't put you up to that call, but thanks.
And he'll pay you later on PayPal.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
one more thing now. One more thing. I was watching Thompson versus Price just now, and you guys were saying like Price was like a contender, like he was kind of big at one point, and I've never even heard of him. And I watched Thompson just destroy this guy. Do you guys, in the UK, do you feel like some kind of way about what Thompson did to him?
I don't.
You guys just don't care?
No,
I don't care.
I wasn't really a fan, to be honest. It was more the Scousers. Obviously, they thought they had signed. They thought they had the next Lewis or something. But
Ari,
I'll explain why. Sorry, wait,
go,
let me quickly say. The reason I never really is because I always remembered that I saw him get knocked out in the Olympics. So when he turned pro, I always knew he was hiding glass, if you know what I mean. So I kind of expected it at one point. So yeah,
I got one more thing to say to you, Ari.
You go on.
I got one more thing to say to you. Where are you at, champ? Where you at? I'm coming for you. Where are you? Howling?
I'm sparring. I'm training, man. I'm training. The
champ is here! The champ is here!
I'm coming for you, champ!
Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ.
He's like Clubber Lang, I'm just Rocky. I'm here training in the back. You know how it is. I'll get you in the end.
But
Pause.
Segura's dropped off. Segura's dropped off, but thank you for your call, Segura, man. That was an excellent call. Okay, let me just try and get one last person on the line. He called up last year. We've not heard from him. His name is Antonio, and he's from Albany. His phone's dialing up now. Hopefully he answers. You remember, if people don't remember this guy, he picked, I think it was Martinez and the Cotto fight. He picked Cotto, and we were all shitting on him. And then the week later, we all had to eat crow. But he's
the guy in the intro.
Yeah, Antonio from Albany in the intro. No, he's in the outro, I think. Outro. Yeah, but he's not answering, so I'll move on. Okay.
All that for nothing.
I tried, though, Dan. I tried.
I know. I commend your efforts.
Thank you, Dan. Let me get to the Prediction League. Give some shout-outs to the top 10. Are you even in the Prediction League, Dan? I don't think you are you?
You're probably only slightly behind me because I think I'm in like 64th.
I got my own group.
Yo, I only pick fights that I watch, so I only have like 6 fights I pick.
Okay.
Out of how many?
All right, let me get to the top 10. So, we just had him on the line, Segura. Number 1, 396 points. Didn't have a great week this week, only had 130 points. Alan Hurst up 10 places into joint second with Chappie Hover. In third, we have Harvey, Lukey baby in fourth. Basilius, boxing historian, and Sean 7000 in joint fifth. James Bennett in sixth. Low Country seventh. Jas TBE Chef user in joint eighth. Chef, I'm pissed off at you. I'll be having words tomorrow at the gym. You're much above me, and I'm not happy about that. Frog in ninth. Irish Boxing Review also in ninth. and Nam 82 in 10th. That's the top 10, but I just want to give props to the people that did good this week, including my boy Chew. Chew, 210 points this week. What the fuck? I don't think I've got 210 points in total.
No, you don't. I checked.
But Steve Box, I think that's Steve DeBaldi on Twitter, I talk to him quite often. He also had 210 this week, along with Wild Bunch. And we talked about Alan Hurst getting 230. And Jas with 20. I don't know who's got the real bad feedback. It's you, Dan. Dan, you were getting feedback off your mic. Yeah, Jas, he's in 8th and he's had 200 points this week. That's it for the Prediction League. I mentioned earlier which fights are up for this oncoming week. So let's have a quick talk about the fights that are happening. I didn't really have time to talk about a card that was on Friday. It was a Showbox card headlined by Sammy Vasquez. It was quite decent, but I'll leave that. But let me get to what should we talk about? It's Pablo Cesar Cano. We'll leave that for now. I think the main fight of the weekend really is Frampton Avalos. Dan, I'll go to you. Who have you got for this fight?
I got Frampton, easy.
Stoppage?
Yeah, by 8th or 9th round, you know. And as the wild card advocate, you know.
You see him in the gym, right? You've seen Avalos.
That's Avalos' hometown, man. And honestly, I got a better kick out of checking out my girl Michelle Joy Phelps more than I did Avalos. Because
Yo, so how's her ass? Me and Kimo haven't been able to find a picture of just her back, man.
It's nice.
Oh,
it's not
on
too
point?
big. It's on point. It's very fit. You know, it's firm. It's tight. You know, it's got the right amount of density.
So it didn't disappoint.
No, not at all. Not at all.
All right, no doubt.
Boobs are perfect too.
I'll slide my number on Twitter then.
I already did, bro.
Oh shit.
You know, I was teaching her how to jump rope. So, come on, bro. Yeah, but back to the fight. You know, I got Frampton.
Okay, Kev, what's your thoughts?
Shit, man. I don't want to do it, but I don't want to jinx my boy Frampton. But from the Wealth TV Connect, where you know I've talked to you guys while watching him, I like him. I think he's a very good offensive fighter, and he didn't gas, and he was throwing a lot of good combination punching. So I like Frampton. I think he's one of the top guys in that division, and I think he'll be for a while.
Thing is, though, like, how many inches does Avalos have on Frampton?
Reach, I think it's about 5.5 inches, I think.
Yeah. Sometimes the reach, like, I see, like, where guys, they measure the fist and it's only maybe an inch, but there's a big difference when a guy's 3-4 inches tall and you're 2-3 inches tall and you, like, they say the reach isn't there, but as somebody who's shorter, like, you feel height. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But I just think Frampton's an offensive fighter. I think he's going to win. What kind of crowd is going to be over there? Is it going to be big? Like the last one on Well TV?
It'll be big.
10,000. No, it's not going to be as big as the Martinez
inside,
fight.
Isn't it? It's inside.
Okay, the Martinez
10,000
fight was
arena.
packed, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they can't do that in the winter, you know.
Yeah, that was outdoors, Kev. They made it at the old place where they built the Titanic. So obviously the weather's really cold out there at the moment. So it's at I think the place is called the Odyssey Arena, and I think Ari's right. Yeah. I think the capacity is about 10K.
All right,
Frampton
but it's indoor 10K. It'll be pretty rowdy. I'm going with Frampton by decision, unanimous decision.
Is Frampton the biggest fighter in this country?
In Northern Ireland, yeah.
Yes. No, in Ireland.
By a long way. Yeah, he is.
So he's
you can say the whole island. You can say the whole island. Yeah.
Okay. Well, and what do you call it? So after he beats Avalos, what are his plans?
I've heard him say
Quick in the summer.
Yeah, I've heard him say that
stops thinking 50-50 for Quick, who can't even sell out his, 2K arena on his own.
I've heard him say that he's willing to fight Rigo.
Yeah, he said he wants to fight Rigo. Test himself against the best in the division.
He'll lose.
The thing is, though,
I do like Frampton.
I'd give him props for taking the fight, though, because he's not scared. He doesn't mind losing, but he wants to fight the best in the division. I heard an interview with him, and with a lot of boxers, you feel that it's disingenuous, but with him, it sounded like he was being genuine.
So it kind of sounded like Canelo, right?
Yeah.
The division.
It's not
And
going
the
to
thing about
affect.
Frampton, man, he's so fluid, man. I love watching the guy just train because his mitt work is fucking beautiful to watch.
Okay, Chew, what's your thoughts with Carl Frampton?
Cam didn't sound too impressed about your mitt work analysis.
It's just every conversation Dan tries to bring it to Canelo, man.
No, I was talking about his mitt. All right, but carry on. My bad, Chew. Go ahead.
I've got Carl Frampton winning. Initially, I was kind of wavering a bit. I don't know why. I just Nyota's kind of been bugging me about it, but not that Nyota talks about it much. But I can just remember being so adamant about Avalos beating Carl Frampton, and then you watch a Avalos fight, and it's just like. So I'm picking Carl Frampton by late round stoppage.
Nice. Ari, your thoughts?
You know I'm with Frampton, top three in Great Britain.
Stoppage or?
But well, UK actually I have to say UK because Great Britain's not even Northern Ireland. UK, I have to claim him somehow, man. But I had decision before, but I think I'm going stoppage because I've been watching a bit of Avalos while we're on the show, and he is quite wild. You know, he throws wide hooks, and he looks quite open. So. And you know, if Frampton lands clean on you, I think you're going down. So yeah, I think I'm going mid-round stoppage for Frampton, man.
Nice.
And it's a big fight. You know, it's going to be on ITV. I don't think the viewers will be that.
Am I going to have that fight over here on US TV? Is that
AWE?
I guess so. I guess it'll be on Wealth.
Yeah, AWE.
It will be.
Yeah,
I hope so. I'm
I'm
not
gonna
sure.
go DVR it right now.
Yeah. Kev,
As long as it don't knock off Love and Hip Hop, then I got room for it.
You know we are live. You know you're telling people that you watch that shit.
You're losing your credibility, Kev.
Hey man, I'm more than comfortable in my own skin.
Yeah, but
I said, I've had this hairline my whole life. I'm built tough, man.
But for all the US listeners, yeah, I think AWE have picked that fight up. For the UK guys, I think ITV4 have the undercard, which my boy Denton Vassell of Manchester is on, and then they switch over to ITV1 for the main event. So that's how it's working.
Yeah, main event around 10:50, 11 o'clock.
Yep.
Our time. So 6 over there in America.
Yep.
Eastern.
Yeah, Eastern, yeah. Leon, your thoughts on Frampton?
I haven't seen much of Avalos, so I'll have a look this week. But Frampton's good. He'll stop him, I think.
I agree. Okay.
Late. Stop him late.
Late stoppage it is. All right.
Can we talk Eubank? Because I really don't know where to go with this fight, man.
Let's talk. Why
Is Eubank fight on TV too?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's another card.
Oh
Box
my
Nation
God,
card.
beautiful.
No, I don't think you got that card. That fight in America though, Kev.
Yeah, you might have to
Not
wait
even
for
for me,
Simbros
not
on
on my
that
own
one.
request.
Yeah, you might have to wait for Simbros on this one.
You might have to Simbos
That's
shit.
not on the Frampton card then, right? Because
No,
we got
no.
4 hours of Frampton right here, 3:30 to 7:30 p.m.
No.
There's one good fight. There's a couple of decent fights on that undercard.
Oh, you're going to see Dillian White if you watch
Yeah,
the whole
that's
card.
what
He's
I
the
was
guy
talking
that
about. Yeah.
he knocked down Joshua and the amateurs.
But yeah, Kev.
Oh yeah.
He's serious.
The Tyson.
Yeah, I just confirmed. Wealth TV has from 3:30 to 7:30, so they must have the whole undercard. I just recorded, so
yeah,
cool. And also, Kev, for the people at home, the Fury fight and Eubank fight is on Box Nation in the UK, so I don't think any American channels have picked that up.
no, I don't think anybody picked it up.
But getting back to you, Harry, why are you kind of unsure about the Chudinov Eubank fight?
Because Chudinov isn't a joke. You know, he's undefeated. I remember I saw his last fight where he killed the guy in 3 rounds. The ref had to stop.
Yeah, but who's
the
he fighting?
Guy had a decent record, man. But what we still don't know what Eubank's about. You know what? I was someone who while you guys were
about.
Oh, well, yeah, he's a decent Russian. He's 14-9.
Yeah, but 2 draws as well.
Yeah, 2 draws, but that's very early in his career, to be honest.
Nah, the Mendy fight was in 2013.
I didn't know he lost to Jordan Mendy.
Yeah, he drew with Mendy, man. I watched that fight today. That's why I thought, what?
Callum Smith killed Mendy in 1 round.
Yeah, exactly. But that was super middleweight. Mendy's not really super middleweight.
Oh. I don't know, man. I seen this Chunov. His last fight, he was impressive, man. Even though he was fighting some from French guy, he wasn't that good. But it's a dangerous fight for Eubank. You can see they want to quickly hop straight back up after the Saunders defeat. I really don't know who to go with it. I don't
know. I'm looking at this guy that Chudinov faced in his last fight, Manny Pacquiao, if I pronounce his name right. And his resume is horrible, man. The guy he fought before Chudinov was 16-24 with 2 draws. Before that, 7-11. Before that, 28 with 8. Like
lost to Abraham. So last loss before that, Abraham.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like bit of a weak resume. I'm going Eubank, but I think it'll be a mid-round stoppage. But I can see it being a bit of a hell of a fight,
You're going to stoppage?
Yeah, I'm going Eubank stoppage.
Yeah, I'm going Eubank stoppage as well.
I'm going Eubank stoppage as well.
Okay.
I don't know what this. Everyone. I've heard so many people tell me this is a difficult fight, and then give me absolutely no reason or any kind of record to suggest it is. To be honest,
that Danish guy beat him. I watched that fight today. He just didn't get the decision.
Patrick Nielsen.
Really?
A close fight.
I was going to watch that, but it was like foreign commentary, and I thought, I can't be asked with 12 rounds of foreign commentary, man.
That Patrick Nielsen's face looked more fucked up at the end of it, but that could have went either way. Yeah.
Alright, I'm going Eubank decision then.
Don't blame us though if we're wrong.
No, I trust Chu. Chu said he saw the Nielsen fight. And
you know what the thing is though, you don't know how good Eubank's chin is.
Chu might have
seems like he inherited his dad's.
We're just presuming he's got a good chin because he's dad.
Yeah, true.
Chu might have imagined watching a Nielsen fight. I'm saying Chu might have imagined watching a Nielsen fight.
No, I watched it.
I'm gonna watch that tomorrow anyway. So
what were you saying, Leon?
And I was just saying I like Eubank's chances of having a good chin.
Yeah,
because it's just genetics.
What do you guys think about Fury?
Plus, he's beating the shit out of people in parking garages, man. That's usually a sign of a good chin.
Oh, Dan, you really seen that video? How the hell did Dan see that?
Dan or Kev?
It's KH, and I'm a fucking big mark for. Sorry, Kev. I'm a Eubank mark, so.
I think I seen. I don't know if it might be the same one, but yeah, it was a parking lot.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I didn't know it was Eubank.
Dude pushed him between 2 cars.
I saw that video randomly. I didn't even know it was Eubank. I just seen it like on a forum. Someone posted it, and I was thinking obviously the quality was terrible. It was quite a few years ago, before we had these 8 megapixel phones, but the quality was terrible. I was thinking he looked like Eubank, but I wasn't 100% sure.
No, Dave Sinister was throwing that around. That's where I saw it from.
Oh, okay. So it definitely was Eubank, and he's wearing a grey. Was he wearing a hoodie? Grey hoodie. Yeah.
You can see it's him.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
To be honest, he was fighting Brighton boys. You're not going to find competition, to be honest.
All right, let's move on to Tyson. Let's move on to Tyson.
Don't go there, Harry.
Yeah, let's just stop, man. I was going to get some Brighton boys on his case.
The whole England tonight, man. Fucking Leeds.
Yeah, that you should worry about, Harry. You should worry about that Leeds shit.
Oh yeah, I'm nice here in London, man.
You ain't going past Watford, are you?
Never.
What's that? You're not going to Hull?
No.
I told Rizzo now.
All right, guys, let's get to Fury. I'm not really hyped about the Fury fight. I'm more hyped about the Eubank fight again, like a bit similar to the Chisora Fury fight. I think he'll take care of Christian Hammer quite easy. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I got Fury 5th round.
Yes. So you think he's going to stop him?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, this Christian Hammer guy, the last guy he fought was the guy that David Price just fought. Couldn't knock him out.
12 rounds.
It went 12 rounds, so he's not got a chance. That Brazilian guy was a bum. So Tyson Fury's just gonna do what he wants.
I agree.
Fury stoppage.
Like Cam, there's actually one other fight that you need to put in.
It's a bit late now.
Liam Walsh versus Joe Murray. They're having a rematch.
Yeah, I know. But
Isn't there enough fights us Americans have no idea?
I was gonna say, innit, like
guys are?
every time I put like 3 or above UK fights, I get mad tweets saying, "Who are these bums that we don't know about?"
Come on, man. I'm trying to rise.
That's what I'm saying. I picked like 9 fights total right now. I'm like 8 picks behind people.
You need to put in that work, man.
Yeah, but I don't know the guys. Like, I don't even. I'm looking up box rec, and then I just don't even think to put it in because I have no idea who the fuck some of these people are.
Just copy Seguro, you'll be okay.
Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna just very good idea.
But that's about it, guys. We had a good show, man, hitting the 3-hour mark. So I think we should.
One sec.
Yeah, I think get my time.
Solis versus Thompson.
That's in there.
Right. Yeah, they're fine. Yeah. What do you guys think of that?
Don't really care, to be honest. The first fight was horrible.
Solis better do it this time because I'm going with him. I don't know why.
Solis is going to break his ankles.
Got that one, man.
I'm hoping Thompson's just gone over there for a check.
Probably. What were you saying, Leon? Did I not get your prediction for the Tyson?
I think Fury could knock him out a bit later than that, like 7 or 8 rounds. But I think he'll box the ears off him, you know. Fury's good, man. He's got good boxing skills. He's in that family as well, because I just want to go back. Huey looked so... I was really impressed with that Huey fight again, man. I thought that was... For a 20-year-old kid to do that on the back of that was just so impressive.
Yeah, man. His jab was working really well.
It was great, you know. I got big things for him. He might be the one to put a stop to this Joshua nonsense if it carries on, you know, in years to come.
I could see his dad putting him in with Joshua as well, you know. His dad's not scared about putting him in with good people.
Peter's not worried about the He said, you know, if he gets beaten by a good guy, I think he learns more than he does from just beating up bums. So,
exactly.
You know,
they should put him in Price.
Yeah. He could I don't say he knocks out Price, but he'll definitely outbox him.
Yep. In over 10 rounds, he beat Price over 10 rounds.
Yeah, easy. Not easy, but, you know, I think he can do it.
Yep.
But I like those Furies, man. They just, you know, when they say they'll fight anyone, I think they mean it, you know.
I agree.
And his dad's out. We've seen his dad. His dad's, their voices are exactly the same.
Yeah. He kind of says he uses the same kind of words as him as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
A bit weird.
Yeah. It was a bit creepy.
Alright, guys, let me do the chat room roll call. We've got Casual Fun, Harvey29, Arigo Bus, Nothing for Something, Nunez83, Tommy D107, Ari's Rotten Tooth. Ari, your tooth in the chat today.
I don't know what the tooth's doing there, man. My tooth is good, man.
KH, Tony Bellew, Monaco78, MV Chew, Low Country, Nick G, London Box, BRD, Hey, Adil for Real, James Bennett, Jack Captain, Hamada UK, Foot Love Me, Adam Lane, and some more guests. Good show, guys. I'll get everyone's final thoughts. Leon, you go first, please.
I ain't got nothing.
Cool. Kevin, final thoughts.
I think we covered it enough.
Daniel, any final thoughts? Don't think Stan's there. Ari, final thoughts?
Yeah. After Avalos gets knocked out, Kid Galabum, you need to call in, eat your crow, because, you know, you talk too much crap.
And Nota as well. Nota needs to call in as well.
Yeah, but Nota's a busy man. He's making money.
What about if when Avalos loses, he gets a 2-3 week ban from the chat? I like that one.
Kid Galabum?
Yeah. Kid Gil Bumtooth.
Kid Galabum is my boy, though, man. Shout out to Kid Galabum.
Shout out to Kid
What are you doing
Galabum.
there, man?
Jesus Christ.
Dan, your line is horrible.
Is it that bad?
Yes.
Your phone in your pocket.
No, man. I'm just taking a nice walk through the New York City landscape.
You back in New York?
Yeah, I'm just moving out all my shit so that I can move back home finally. I'll mute myself.
Now, Dan, you've got any final thoughts? Oh,
No final thoughts.
Okay, cheers. Ari, did you finish yours?
Yeah, that was it. He needs to come and get his crow. He talks too much crap.
Kid Galabum, do you want to take that bet where if Avalos loses, you can't be in the chat for a couple of weeks? Type it in the chat. while I'm getting Chew's final thoughts. MV Chew, my boy, any final thoughts?
Gennady. Nah. I mean, we've covered it all. I'm really looking forward to Chris Eubank Jr. If he gets another win, then he'll be back. And I think boxing needs Chris Eubank Jr. back on top.
Is his pops going to be in the corner talking mad funny shit?
Yep.
No, he will.
Nice. The Sith Lord.
Chris Eubank Sr. should never retire. Just continue just doing what he does. Because he's a beast.
Nice. Okay, cheers, Chew. My final thoughts. I didn't mention earlier, but Friday Night Fights, heavyweights, Boxino was terrible. And it came on just at the same time that Floyd released his news about the Pacquiao fight, so no one was watching that shit, which is probably a good thing because it was horrible. But also on Friday we had the Showbox card headlined by Sammy Vasquez Jr. versus Emmanuel Latte, and that card was quite decent. I enjoyed that. The Vasquez fight was quite one-sided, but there was a nice funny stoppage. I tweeted it earlier, Hamada tweeted it out and I retweeted it. Craig Baker versus Humberto Savine, who's really you just gotta watch it, man.
Didn't he?
Yeah, he did a little dance. He was gone, man. He was gone. Even like the fucking ref knew as well, but he was giving him the benefit of the doubt, but he knew he had to stop the fight. And there was another really fun undercard fight. I'm trying to look for the guy's name. It was Claudio Marrero versus Orlando Rizzo, two southpaws. Lots of knockdowns, lots of big punches. If you guys want to watch some boxing during the week, definitely check that card out if you can find it. I think it's on Simbros, so check that out. Guys, I want to thank you for being on. Thanks to all the listeners and all the guys that download. We'll be back next week.
Oh, wait a minute, Cam. See, just before you go.
Go ahead.
Shout out to Emmanuel Augustus, my favourite boxer of all time. He was involved in an accident 3 months ago. He was on life support. Now he's better. He's walking again. He's no longer on life support. Shout out to him, the fucking drunken master.
The drunken monkey. Him versus your boy, Mickey Ward. Classic fight.
Every one of these fights was a spectacle, man. Love that shit.
Yeah.
So shout out to him. He's doing better now.
Shout out to him. Hope his recovery is good. We'll be back next week. Peace.
Peace.
You just listened to the Boxing Coalition.
Oh, dude, man, I love boxing. I fucking love boxing.
A big shout out to the Boxing Coalition.
You're a newbie.
No, I ain't new, man.
If my fucking next door neighbour became the #1 flyweight in the world, you know what I'd do? I'd fucking walk past the cunt.
Derek, how you doing, bro?
I was physically banging, blood.
I disagree.
First time I hear the show, man, it was fucking badass.
Vamos a Argentina, la concha de su madre.
I see the bomb in him.
I get home and she's like, what the fuck? Me and the kid are here. Why don't you get home and talk to us? I'm like, man, you guys don't know shit about boxing.
Kel, how does it feel to be the new IBF champion?
Feels great. Did we really dive into the black hole right off the jump?
I think he's hiding glass.
Just to play devil's advocate.
You want one portion of crow or two portions of crow?
Give me 2 portions with a supersized fries and a large drink, please.
I can't stand him, what? I'm Scottish.
Cringe side.
But you won't rush Anthony fucking fat ass Joshua, would you?
He's not fat.
How about you tell us what you weighed for your final thoughts?
My weight?
Thank you for listening to the Boxing Coalition. We are live every Monday, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. UK time, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern.